Dad vibes coming in with that first chat flex. Let's go. Hello. Hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. That I can't live without you. But the world keeps turning if you do. Would you even want me looking like a zombie? I don't know what this is. Go away. I came I got on here early because I might have to end early. Hi, Phoenix. Welcome in. Hello. It's a Kami. It is a Kami. But yeah, I'm starting early so that potentially I have to get out earlier. So I'm going to an event tonight, and I found out there's going to be a lot happening where I'm going. So there's going to be a lot of people. So actually, I'm kind of nervous. I'll tell you about it in a minute. You're 7 minutes late my time. Listen, I meant to go live like an hour ago, but then I got distracted in recreating things, so it's running. I know that I can't live without you. So I'm trying to figure out, I got into like a vertical beta stream with Twitch. Is anybody watching on mobile right now? Looking like a zombie. Oh, I think it's working. Does it look like a TikTok thing? Is there any video? Can you see anything? There's no video. Okay, so yeah, I got into like a vertical beta, but I'm not like seeing anything. Would you? And I think that's because it's not linked here. I'm a classic. Stop. No, you're classic. All right, that's interesting. So I didn't link any scenes, so I think I have to make more because when I stream to YouTube, I only use my live scene. Oh, Hannah means Ben. I chose to play Dead by Daylight off stream yesterday. It was a choice. I have the ability to enter vertical mode, which I'm not going to do because it looks awful. Yeah, well, it's going to look terrible right now. But yeah, I got into a Twitch beta for vertical streaming. So you saw it didn't go so bad. I had an 8K with a killer. So I'm just wondering if this will, when I go to like a different scene, we have a minute left, but it's not connected here. Someday, somehow, we're gonna make it all right, but not right now. I know you're. So I have to think I add scenes. So we'll see what it looks like when I go to the other one. Kami, I'm 8 days and a wake up away. Let's go! I'm so excited. No bananas. No bananas. Oh my gosh, why is your banana on my screen? Why is your banana on the screen? Put it away. Let's leave the singing to... Listen, I know I can't sing, but I like the song. You'll need to link the vertical scenes. Yeah, okay, so I couldn't figure out how it was going, but I have... So I think if I go here, let me just cheat the source here. If I go here, it should link because I already have it linked. I don't know. It's gonna be alright, but not right now. I know you're wondering where. I also don't know how far behind it is. It's not linked. I don't know how to link it. I was trying to find stuff, but yeah, I know vertical is blank. Yeah, so that scene, like, I have my live scene linked. So this one's supposed to be linked. Okay, there we go. We're back. I'm not gonna press buttons. Okay, hi Santa Claus. Thank you so much for the lurk. I'll have to figure out later. It's just I don't even know. I got it last night. I'm done. I'm over it. I hate technology. We'll figure it out. So everybody, if you're mobile, go to Classic View. Okay? Is Classic View working? Yes. Oh, everybody left. I have only one person. Rip my soul. No, don't ban me. That's vertical plays when I hold my phone horizontal, but doesn't work when I hold my. If you like, you know, TikTok view type of things, we will figure this out. So we'll figure it out. No, I pressed a button and I made things break, and yay, breaking. But anyways, so I'm gonna go back over to just chatting for right now so we can chat for a minute. If you notice in the bottom corner over here, St. Jude has raised over $600,000 in the 9 days. 9 days that Play Live has been going on. Super exciting, super amazing. We have 1,245 raised out of 1,500. We have a couple more streams to go. The Crypt community, the Crypt stream team, we have raised $5,704, making $704 over our team goal. So that's super exciting. Let's go. That's amazing. What else is going on? We got some bingo to check in. If we get a bingo, it'll be a community giveaway for a game key. Of all the pressure that we put on her. What else we got going on? I don't know. I don't know. We might do some Jackbox. We may not. I don't know. We'll see where we're at. We're definitely, if we do Jackbox, it's going to be the murder trivia. As Quiplash and everything else can get a little too saucy for St. Jude Play live streams. So we'll definitely do the murder trivia. And oh, I know. Here's all the stuff in the things. All the stuff in the things. So I did not press that button because I didn't. Okay, I got you. Maybe I did. Whatever. Leaderboard are, well, we don't need that. It's not showing my last year. $2,095 has been raised by this community in our 2 years of St. Jude Play Live. Thank you so much. This is a round of applause to all of you. Thank you for making this cause what it is. I am so thankful for you. But also, thank you so much for showing up for these families. For these families in St. Jude as they are going through such a challenging time with, well, I gotta fix this, 245. With these medical expenses, actually I have to update that. So here's the updated one. Remember, St. Jude will never bill a family for any medical need that they have. They're out there helping fund research and fighting cancer, help support kids fighting cancer, and they never get a bill. So right now, where we are at on our journey, we're at 1,245. Why are you slapping the leaderboard? That's so rude. Hi, Ashton Faze. Welcome in. How is your God of War? Have you been playing it more? We have currently raised, oh, hello. We have airfare for 3 St. Jude patients and their parents. We're on the journey to 1,500, which would help provide 1 day of chemotherapy for a St. Jude patient. So thank you all for everything that you do to help get there. The slap. I know. Why are you slapping the leaderboard? Rude. Oh my goodness. Chat, do or do not avert your eyes. Just know that we've got ourselves a streaker in chat. We got GTR coming in with a 3 streak. Thank you so much for the streak, and I'm glad they're back and working for you. Let's go. Listen, I lost, because of Twitch, I lost like 100 and almost upwards of 150 stream streak in Shadow Chat. It was sad. It's gotten out of hand. Your Kratos has 380 health and over 300 defense. Let's go. Nobody will take you down. Nobody will take you down. All right, I'm going to go live on the YouTube site. So we got an extra tab, or if you haven't already followed me over there, that would be fantastically awesome. I would appreciate you. It is in the vertical mode. We're going to try vertical mode. I'm going to switch between, see what we got. I don't know. Yeah, so vertical mode. All right, so we're going to play a little bit of Phasmophobia today. I had to raid out probably around 3:30, so it's a little bit earlier than normal. But I'm a little nervous about today because there's going to be so many things happening downtown, and that's where I'm heading. And there's going to be a lot. So I'm trying to find a different form of travel, and I haven't been on in a while. You guys have heard my scary stories about them, but I'm actually going to be taking like the RTA down there, and it's going to be earlier. So it's going to be earlier. I won't be there late. So that's, we're all a little loony and but yeah, so I'm a little nervous because it should be a lot of people, though there's going to be a lot. Is Kami still going to CultCon 2026? I believe so. Have I bought tickets? No. Do I have time off? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. So I'm hoping to buy tickets. Yes, I'm mentally planning to be there. Flux, let's go. We have an EBGG family member hopping in this chat. How are you, Flux? Let me try this again. My water bottle was already open, so me closing it, I thought I was opening it, and yeah, that was the situation. It's fine. Hi. I hope my day goes great. Thank you so much. I hope your day goes great. You deserve it. You deserve it. What has your gaming experience been lately? What have you been up to? I know 2 Point Hospital was your thing at one point. Or museum. Museum. I keep calling it hospital. At one point. All right, where's my chat? Why is it not there? There it is. Okay, perfect. Okay, am I missing anything else on the screen? I feel like I'm missing things. Twitch won't let me use your follower emotes. That's so weird. me on the YouTube side, Mr. Goku. That is quite the thing. Okay. Sup, lame streamer. Hi. How's it going? Thanks for calling me lame. That's great. Anyways, look, our co-streamer's here. Our co-streamer's here. Mostly Winrose. I'm going to be playing Winrose this summer. That's my plan. Ashen Face, try reloading and see if that helps. Or like, if you're on mobile, try to click out and click back in. I don't know. Nice cat. Thank you. Her name's Bailey. She's co-streamer. I don't know what the heck she's planning. What are you doing, mental child? Stop it. You don't fit there. Okay, so that's the situation. So anyways, welcome into Phasmo. We're going to be doing we're just going to do it on professional, and we're going to try to continue on with the Tanglewood or the farmhouse streams. That's cute. Yeah, I don't know what she's... Oh, look what she's trying to get. She's trying to get this, and she loves chewing on this. No, ma'am. Get out of there. Get out of there. All right, so with our St. Jude donos today, for $1, you'll get a 30-second dance party. For $10, I get to wear this weird contraption device thing. And for $20 donos, you can make me wear these today. So these are our St. Jude things today. So Von Xavier, are you a Phasmophobia player? Welcome in on the YouTube side, by the way. Hi, Star-Lord, welcome in. Thank you so much for popping in today. How are you doing? All right, co-streamer wants to be seen. Can we say hi? Can we say hi to co-streamer? Come here. Come here. Turn around, please. Excuse me. Okay. She's struggling. She's struggling. She wants the love, but she doesn't want the love. I don't know. She's needy. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I am going to be heading downtown today. Super excited. It's going to be lots and lots of people. Yay. We love lots of people. Can you get your tail into your own space? Thanks. I'm going to look into this summer setting up a camera so that when she's on this side, I can turn it on. You guys will be able to see her better. So that's my summer goal. Also, I might redo my stream corner. It's coming up very fast. So, all right, if you're on the Twitch side, I'm going to go ahead and open up Ghost Guessing. What do you think I am going to run into today? Hi, Olivia. Thank you so much for coming in on the YouTube side. How are you? Hi, Pat Adams. Welcome back. I hope you are doing well. Thanks so much for coming back in. Kami, never go down oh my gosh, rabbit holes. I know. Which one are you going down? Please tell me it's not like the hantavirus kind of thing. So my plan with this, I'm not going to be doing any objectives unless it's like easy to get like a picture of EMF, you know. I'm not going to be really doing any... Ooh, we got the floppiest of the Franks. Any objectives, I'm just going to get in, try to figure out what the ghost is. Small dragon, hello, hello, you wonderful crypty. How are you? Ghosties, if you don't know Small Dragon, you and I actually need to get on over there and check them out and learn a little bit more about them, as they are also a crypty. What are you doing? I wish you could see this cat right now. She is trying to climb on something she can't fit on. I want to use the Pride Ghost Twitch. Oh, you know what? I think that one might be... I don't know if that one's a follower emote. That one might be a sub emote. I can't even remember what my follower emotes are. But seriously, Ghosties, get on over there and say hi, hello, hey to Small Dragon. Small Dragon, are you raising money for the St. Jude's Foundations with the Crypties? You get a small party? You get a small party? What? Absolutely. Why not a small party? All of the... Alright, the power is going to be down here. I'm not subbed and can use it. Okay, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Next week, we're going to start with our St. Jude badges. They are going to be custom channel badges that you can only get here, and you can only wear them here. They are going to be for St. Jude Play Live. So there's going to be a sub badge you can earn, and for just being here and subbing during the St. Jude Play live time, as well as a watch hour. I think we might up the watch hour to 3 because the last week of May I plan to stream a lot longer as I'm going to be out of work. Oh, decorate the stream. Give me just a second. Let me see. Yeah, I need to change this back because scene list needs to be back to a list. I cannot operate with it being that way. Let's see, that one was streamer bot, I believe. Let me... There you go. Thank you so much for decorating the stream. I know that's kind of hard to see, but you added some heart lights up to the stream. Who was that? Star-Lord, thank you for decorating the stream. I gotta update them a little bit. Taco Bell time. What are you getting from Taco Bell? All the follower emotes. Thank you for showing me my follower emotes. It's so sad. I've moved them around so many times. Let the baby do what she wants. She's trying to get my cat ears. She's trying to get my cat ears. I can't let her have my cat ears. Oh, it's turning on water. Cool beans. Let's go see. Oh, not water. Is it water? What is it? I'm so confused. Yeah, it is water. Wow, that's some really loud shower water. You stole them to use them. There you go. Come on, turn off. I actually, so if you don't know, Phasmophobia has, and I was watching Flash Force. If you don't know Flash Force is a official Connect partner, and they were sharing out some of the patch notes coming up. So they're working on patching up some things and changing some things with the Tuesday update that'll come out. Also, Alan Wake is going to be starting on Tuesday the 12th. We're not going to be on Phasmophobia on Tuesday. We're going to be with Jade Plus, and we're going to be going back to our roots. We're going to be going back to Ghost Exorcism Inc. Need to be subs, some are free. Yes. Oh, some are. We have quite a few bits under, or like not bits, but emotes because of amazing community goals. Our next unlock for a new, I think it's both emotes, but what's that called? Animated emote is going to be 165 subs. We're just need 100 subs. My dog is insulting you. It's like, give me all the love and attention. My 17-year-old and her boyfriend did my makeup on stream last night as part of one of the fundraising goals. That is so funny. I love that. Her boyfriend signed my face when he was done. I love that. That's so creative. I love hearing that. I was thinking the paint. Oh man, I have to schedule a painting stream. I forgot about that. It's a follower emote, and I can snag it by copying others. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Pat Adams, for posting those so that Ashen Face can grab them. She did a lovely job. He had no idea what he's doing. I love it. That is fantastic. I wonder what ghost this is going to be. It's not very active right away. My sanity is actually kind of lower than I would like it to be, but it's going to be fine. How many? We're at 21, I believe, out of 50. Oh, I guess okay, here's my complaint, though. You cannot turn off the flashlight unless the camera's out of your hand. Like, was it the door? What is moving out here? So anybody have any weekend plans? I don't see any Gorbies. I'm pretty confident this is where we're at. I can't see the flashlight. There's also no dot sounds, which is not so terrible, to be honest with you. Oh no, it didn't let... There we go. There we go. I had to put the space in. What? Space is missing. Oh, my... I was reading your name as the good Southern Comfort, as the good rum alcohol, but I know it's Liz is a southern comfort. Liz is such a southern comfort. Look, this ghost isn't in here anymore? What? Where did it go? I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's not working. Would you even want me? Is it out here now? Looking like a zombie. Guys, Dad Vibes is super close to coming home. I cannot wait. Happy for him. We put him in a box and we sent him out to sea. I'm just kidding. We did not. Where is this ghost? Well, can we not throw, you know, urns at us? Like, can we not throw... Or is this just a vase? I guess it's just a vase. Hi, Jay. Welcome in. How are you? How's your weekend? Are you all done with your class? Oh, this might... Okay, no, we're fine. It's just an event. Right? I think so. It closed the door on me? Rude. I guess there's a chance that Beaver Poppy is doing Saturday D&D, but it hasn't been confirmed. Yeah, I don't even know. I never pay attention to the D&D stuff because I don't do that. I do know that Jake is doing Single Dad Jake this weekend. He is so sweet and he's sending his wifey out for Mother's Day because he always does. You have next week still, same. I have 5 days and then 3 days. Oh my goodness. Hi on the YouTube side. I'm so sorry I missed your message. Hello, shout out. Hi, Manama, Sami. Is that right? Thank you so much for coming on the YouTube side. How are you doing? I look over there and I see, thank you for spamming all those emotes so that I can see. I'm so sorry. I don't usually get people on that side, so. I hate that feeling. Think it's an event or a hunt, but it's always the opposite. Yeah. I have to have it on this right now. I wonder, I'm very curious. So the last time oh, it's working this time. Okay, last time I was in here, it did not have my microphone working, so I had to do the text. Nice work, Bone Daddy. Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Are you young? Where exactly are you? It's not a mirror, by the way. I did not turn that on. Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? We got... It's definitely right here. I'm picking up that urn. Oh, I don't know. Oh, no, it's a banana again. Listen, I can't see. I can't see. Put your banana out of my way. Ash your face. You had the same problem. Yeah, I guess it's, you know, it's to be it's an update, you know. As Jade says, an update, you know, is a downgrade in a shiny box. It is for sure here. We're not getting like any... Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Are you young? Are you old? Do you like pickles on your pizza? Please tell me nobody likes pickles on their pizza. Does anybody get pickles on their pizza? I think it fixed with the system voice. Yeah, because it got switched. Well, mine didn't get switched. Like, I went through all of them. It just didn't recognize it. All right, we'll put... Well, it's not going to get writing. So this is professional. So I'm just going to go ahead and wipe out writing and ghost orbs since we did not have them. I feel like we might have UV. That's what she said. That is what she said. And it is... Phasmo is the OBS of games. That is quite a... That's hilarious. I love that. What did I bring out with me? 1, 2... See, listen. I don't know why, but I'm also noticing... Where did the lighter go? It's a little faster to switch the items, but where did the lighter go? This is why you always bring an extra. Pickle pizza, that sounds terrible. Hi, Kaglayan. Welcome in on the YouTube side. Hello, hello. I wonder if, is that like... Wait, why are you slapping the straight? Oh, that was Dots. You just slapped the Dots ghost? I'm pretty confident that was Dots, right? I feel like it was. I feel like we'll have UV. Oh, we do. Oh, look at that. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that? We have some fifis for the Oni fan. Let's go. All right, Galio. We got UV. I can't really tell with that picture. I had a feeling we'd have that. Oh, yep, because of all the touchy touch on the doors. Could be an Obake. Oh wait, no, because, well, I mean, it has UV, but we had. Was that Dots? Do you think that was Dots? I don't know. Pickles like kiwi does. Oh, it was Dots. It was Dots, confirmed. So I don't think it's a Banshee. It's not a Goryo. It did not start in here. So Obamo, a Phantom. We're gonna create a camera. And yes, I know someone who ate kiwi on pizza. I actually, yeah, I'm gonna say not a Banshee. It's not 100%, but I've been told that if in Dots, the Banshee comes towards you, especially when you're alone, that it's a good chance that it is a Banshee. Since it's running away from me, it may not be a Banshee. I just don't like pineapple. We're gonna get this. Actually, do I really need this? I don't know. My sanity is a little bit lower than I want, so I need to prepare for a hunt for sure. Are we still only lighting one candle? We are. It is only one candle that we get to light. It's fine. So we are, oh, hi. A little bit colder, but not freezing. Still does not like the book. Don't have an Orby. We can try Spirit Box again. Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Are you young? Are you old? Are you a victim? Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Pizza talk, I'm not picky, but damn, I had 3 days in a row last week. Oh, like pizza for 3 days in a row? Some days it's like that, you know, some days it's just like that. We're gonna throw this here. Because I'm pretty sure I can get here. Ooh, oh, why did that scare me? Duh, it's also not a Goryo because I can see it. Hello. Just say the ghost name. So solid chance that that is not, like, it doesn't really do anything. I wonder if the light on the book does anything. Like, will it make it come towards you? Or will it not make it come towards you? It doesn't seem too fast. I just don't know too much about this one. It's not going to be writing though, so I don't think it is an Obambo. So I think we're down to a Phantom. I really need to try to get a picture of it. So it'd be nice if it would event, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a picture of it. I really do feel like it might be a Phantom though. Watch, now that I want a freaking picture, it's not gonna walk through the dots. Yeah. It's not going to. I don't think I got the picture. Seriously, EMF reading. Really? It gave me EMF reading. That was the picture it gave me. Damn EMF. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna turn that off. Get that out of here. Get this out of here. Get you out of here. All right, so our sanity a little low. I hate that. Me too. It's like I had it planned. I guess, can I leave my sanity low? Yeah, probably. I'm gonna leave my sanity low. I am leaning towards Phantom of the Opera, even though I'm not getting evidence. So which one would it be? Spirit box? We'll go ahead and try the spirit box again. But where's the spirit box? Let's throw this one down here. Actually, I kind of want to just keep it here. Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Are you young? Are you old? Are you victim? Are you near? Ah! I could have took a picture. My bad. Where are you? Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? Who, investigators that need to see it whilst they're holding their flashlight. I don't think I have the camera in my hand. I do. Oh, you're closer than I thought. I'm gonna die. Okay, I died. Here's my complaint. Death animation. You cannot freaking pull up your book in time. Mother, fix that. Because it's gonna be a phantom. It's gonna be a banshee. Exactly what I said. But you can't pull up the book to panic pick. Nice work, Bone Daddy. It was closer than I thought, so it bit my toes. It bit my toes. It was a banshee. Rip dip tater chip. Yes, I got some of those. I've got some of those. Oh, let me get them. Got some of them rip dip tater chips as designed by Jay. If y'all haven't seen this, Jay made me little ghostie that's sitting back here. You can't really see it right now, but he has also made our own listen, Linda. Rip dip tater chips. It's just this little bag, kettle cooked rip dip tater chips. It has like, and my original like tag on here was just a gamer girl in a gaming world. And then he has my old, like what I used to be is X Little Miss Kami X32, the worst streaming name ever, because it always came up with Kmex. And then our original logo that Jay created for us. So this is a what can we call it, like legendary logo. Is mute me? Oh yeah, it's on cooldown. I cannot have everybody muting me back to back to back to back to back, because they would. I should do like a 30-second mute for bits. 30 bits for 30 seconds. No, because they all will mute me all day. Dad was like, bet, buys $100 worth of bits. Mutes me 70 freaking times. Okay, maybe not 70, but still. Thanks, Jay. See, Jay with it. Her flipping us off while she talks about the chips. Oh, 1,000 bits to mute you for these. Okay, yes, absolutely. Let's create that. Wait, why is this door open? That's interesting. Ashen Face is like, I will absolutely mute you. We got hiding in here. Oh, I hear you over here. Are you in the garage? Do 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 do. Is that the kitchen or is it the garage? I don't know. Definitely kitchen. We got quite a few. Well, it is professional, so it makes sense. You got no sleep and you're running on chaos. You and Liz could be best friends. Liz is a chaos monster. What does that say? Bleh? Does that say bleh? Bleh. Like an Oni fan. Jeez, Liz? What the heck? You are in charge of getting me my romantasy books. You are in charge of getting me my cat. You are in charge of getting me my snacks. Now they're too cold. Off with your head. Hawk of words, Hawk of doom. Thank you so much for the lurk. I hope that you are doing well. Okay, so watch. I'm gonna throw this right here. Okay, see, I threw it right there, okay? Now I can pick that up, and now I can pick that up. It will not let me pick up 3 items with the lighter in my hand. You are my friend. Everyone else needs to earn it. Oh, I feel planned. Akatar wedding. Oh my gosh. Wait, yes? Oh my gosh, I would love to dress up for that. That would be so fun. I'd have to get like ears and, well, not ears, not necessarily, because I think I go more like a Farah. Is everybody gonna be assigned something? Hold on. I love it. I didn't even ask if it was gonna be dressed up. I'm just like, yes, it's gonna be dressed up. It's going to happen. I don't see any Orbeez. That light just got turned on, so it is not a mare. We're gonna eliminate the mare. The mare does not like light, so I want to put this right here. I'm gonna put the dots up. I'm not really salty about the sound not being there, but it's kind of weird. Is that a party mouse? If you give a mouse a party, they will dance. Da -da 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 -da. Yes, we have hiding in there. Okay, let's go. He wouldn't mind. I mean, would he have a choice? I guess you can say it was enlightening. We love it. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Let's see where it's traveling around. Pew, 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 pew. What did it? What? Okay, there we go. Couldn't even click that. Let's see where it's walking, and then we'll put down some salt. We'll even see if it's walking through that area or not. That's an event. That's a hunt. That's a hunt? That was an early hunt. Alright, hopefully this will... It's a demon! That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Unless for some reason it's a memo. Alright, I got my 2-minute timer up on my right screen. Why is it on my right screen? That's fine. There we go. That's how to move it. It's fine. Let me go down here and turn off the lights. It's a delight. The demon is so delightful. Yeah, we're not gonna, you know, fluff around and find out. we're just gonna go in and be ready. So we're definitely gonna get UV, right? Why is it spawning already? Why is it gotta be a demon? Unless for some reason it's like, hey, I'm actually a memo pretending to be a demon. Definitely UV. Okay. Is a demon. You know what? Should we just demon and go? Let's just demon and go. Although it could be a memo. Hold on. Could it be a memo? It could be a memo. Demons, do they like light? I don't know. Liz, do they like to turn on the lights? Because the demon turned on a light. I need to get more water. They can. So wait, I have a camera in there. We already checked for orbs, so it's not a memo. You know what? I'm just gonna say demon and go because my whole goal is to try and just figure out what these ghosts are so I can get this badge. So fingers crossed. It was a demon. Good shit. Well played. Clap, clap, clap. All right, so which map? Which map would you like to see? Tanglewood, Grafton, or Bleasdale? Go ahead and put a 1 for Tanglewood in chat, 2 for Grafton, or 3 for Bleasdale. Let me know which one you want. And while you do that, I'm going to kind of go through this customization screen with you. So you get 6 male preset models and 6 female preset models. And now it's also in the store interface. This is also where you're going to change your badge so you can see all of the different backgrounds that you have. And then the prestige badges that you have over here, and then the custom ones that you have. They're all going to be over in the shop screen under customization now. You just type in chat. So if you see 1 for Tanglewood, 2 for Grafton House, or 3 for Bleasdale, you just type whichever number you want to vote for in the chat. It'll register it and it will add it to the screen right on the left-hand side. Take a cross if it's a demon, it would react. If that's how it works in this game. No. So the crucifix, well, yes and no. So it doesn't react like you would think in like Insidious or Paranormal Activity, like those types of things. What it does is it prevents them from hunting. And so a demon actually can hunt around like the earliest, probably 70%, 80%, 70%. And so it would prevent it from hunting. So it would burn the crucifix and allow us to, you know, kind of like a warning saying, hey, that ghost is planning to hunt you. You either need to be ready or it's going to bite your booty. I also forgot to close ghost guessing earlier. My bad. So it looks like we got 50-50. Is there anybody out there for a... Anybody out there for a tiebreaker? Otherwise, we'll have to go to the wheel. Which is fine if we have to go to the wheel. I just had to pull up another screen, move it over here. You're making me do all this work. No, I'm just kidding. I can actually save this one? Can I save this one? I don't even know. I have the wheel ready if needed. Oh, there we go. So it looks like we're going back to Tanglewood. Thank you so much. Oh, wait. No. I voted. That didn't count because it said guests received with 1 vote. And that was back when we did the Banshee and I forgot to put that through. So there it is. So yeah, we're going to go to the wheel then to see what we are going to get since it's a, you know, it was a 50-50. I don't know why this button, there we go. All right, right, so Bleasdale. It was between Grafton and Bleasdale, I think. All right, so we gotta remove that because it was between Grafton and Tanglewood. Sorry. All right, looks like we're going back to Tanglewood. Back to Tanglewood. All right, so these are your pre-models that you can choose from. I should probably take off the head piece so that you can see them. Here is Amir Kelly. This is Nick Carlson. This is Vince Ravenhill. Robin Byrne? Okay, I don't know. Bryce Noble. Dustin Park. You can barely see him because of my camera. My bad. My bad. And now we're throwing bricks so nobody can see. Then we got Winona Fields, Kira Calcutta, Grace Zhu, you? I don't know if it's Zhu or you. Evie Petrova, Meg Mars, and Zara Doshi. I kind of like... We might play Zara. And then you get to change the hair color. And then you can buy some of these piercings. So this is always going to be in-game currency. So you can buy piercings to add to your character. And then you can also buy nail polish, like rings, not nail polish, rings. And it's actually pretty. I like those rings. You can add a bunch of rings, lots of rings. But it's 2,500 per ring, so these better be real gold. Hi, Cheese. How are you doing? How are you doing? We'll do the farm after this one. We'll do Tanglewood and then the farm. And then there's this necklace as well. And then we have... This one's the Cursed Hollow mask that you got from 2026. They have those hats. They have some jackets that you can be wearing. This is $10,000 for a jacket, by the way. I'm too broke for that, so we're just going in with... that. And then there are prestige shirts. This shirt that I'm wearing is the High Priestess shirt, and this is a Twitch drop for the character update. So if you're watching any Phasmophobia streamer for 2 hours, you can get this. Make sure to check your drops. I know Twitch is apparently doing drops a little different. So if you look... I'm trying to pull up my screen here. Where is it showing up? I think it's showing up in chat now. At least on PC, it's supposed to be appearing somewhere, like for some streamers. I don't think it's all streamers yet, but you might be able to see them at the bottom of chat. Otherwise, you'd have to go to your little icon top right and look at your drops and rewards to see how far along you are. And also, don't forget to link your account right next to the redeem points. See, it doesn't show on mine, but maybe it's because it's... I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's showing up for some people. But yeah, this is the character update. Don't forget, this is where you're going to find your badges now that you have, so. Alright, and that's that. Thanks for coming to my tutorial. And now we're going to head back to Tanglewood, and we're going to be on Professional, and we're going to look for some more ghosties. So, next we'll do, Grafton. We'll do Grafton. So Tanglewood is actually at 22 out of 50. We are almost to the halfway point. We're almost there. Whoa. We're living on a prayer. Ooh, we got kind of like Twilight looking. Okay. Let's go in. Let's see. I'm gonna do a count up. Let's see how long it takes us to figure out this ghost. Where's my timer? I have so... Oh. Where's my timer at? It needs to move. Hello. I hate when I move things, like... Sometimes it's nice to put things in a... folder, but at the same time, I don't think it works very well. All right, there we go. We're gonna see how long it takes. So it took me 40 seconds to find that timer. That's fine. I'm not really going to take pictures of the bones, but I do still grab them. Mostly looking for hiding places, anything out of ordinary, and our cursed objects as well. I want tarot cards! Ooh, okay. Well, we shouldn't be too bad off on the hiding considering it's professional. These doors are wide open. I wonder if it's in the kitchen. Alright, power is on. Oh, we have the birthday cake, which is the summoning circle. J Mose just got me into calling it that. Ugh. Ew, is that milk like... Ew, that's orange juice. Ew, even on the counter it's moldy. That's lovely. Somebody should fix that. They really need to do something about that. I think we don't need like a ghost hunter. I think we need like a health inspector in this house. We don't have this hiding though. What cursed object was it? Monkey paw? It's gotta be the monkey paw because I didn't go... Oh, duh. It's the... See? Short-term brain memory loss. It's the summoning circle. I die 987% of the time that I use these summoning circles, so... Wait, what the heck is this? I have no idea where this ghost is. It'd be great if it would give us a hint. Hello? Where are you? Can you make a sound? I think I heard something over this way. Watch, is it in the basement? Please don't be a basement ghost. Nobody wants to be down in the basement with a ghost on a Saturday. I definitely did not write that in my daily plans. Today, I'm going to be in the ghost room in the basement. Good news, it doesn't seem like it is a ghost room in the basement. Aha. Hallway? Hello? Puzzle room? Yeah, puzzle room. Alright, it is the puzzle room. So is it the granny? 7.3, 6.4. A little bit colder, but not freezing, but definitely... Oh, that's an EMF 5. Okay. Let's throw that in there. Let's go get some other things. So we got EMF 5. That took us 4 minutes to find the ghost room. And we're just gonna take that in. It doesn't hurt to have a cruise, especially if it's an early hunter and we're not prepared for it. But I don't think any of them are really that early of a hunter, so I think we have plenty of time. I don't see any Gorbies. Let's get the dots in here. Oh, there's actual dot sounds this time. Oh, that was a terrible placement because of the fan. Let me try again. Perfect. And of course we'll put that down. Better safe than sorry. Temps are not going down. Okay. It likes music. Perfect. But we're not going to be playing any music. No music for you. Let's go get some UV and salt. We'll see if we can get any beefies through the Oni fans. And shade is on the list, so we're going to take this. If it doesn't blow us out when we're in the room, there's a chance that it is a shade. If it blows out when we're in the room, it is not a shade. Unless it's a shady shade. Alright, so we'll put that there. Is my lighter still on? We don't have any UV. Put this one over there. Oh, my bad. So sorry. Did not know that you were standing right there. So it's not a gallew. But yeah, there's no UV. It's really also not touching too many things. Just stomping around. Let's put this back up here. Oh, perfect. That fell perfectly. It's great. There goes that EMF 5 again. Wait, I just left the room and then it did that. So there's a chance that's a shade. But then again... Can you... It was... We heard it blow out. We heard it blow out. Okay. So, ghost riding and freezing temps. Let's see if the temperatures went down with that activity at all. 4.9, 5.2. Oh, I know that I can't live without you, but the world... Would you even want me? It would not hurt to take in a smudge stick. Let's find a book. I think now, first off, I didn't turn that light on, but also that's another time that it blew out the candle when we were in the room. And now it's trying to eat our soul. So... let's go take some sanity meds. It just burnt one part of our crucie. I think Goryo's still on there. We would have had UV if it's an Obake. Not a shade, it just blew that out. I know it's not blown out, but we just heard it blow out. And there's writing in the book. So spirit and a myling. Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Are you young? Are you old? Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? Where are you? How old are you? Are you young? Are you old? Where are you? I don't know where the camera went. I picked this up. Is it in my pocket? Like, where did the camera go? Oh, the power's out, so it's not a djinn. I kind of want to go this way and just kind of watch that light. So when it starts hunting. If we see the light flickering before we know it's hunting, then we know it's a myling. Otherwise it's a spirit. So what we'll do, actually, I kind of want to go get another smudge. Let me go get another smudge really fast. That way I can have 2 on me. It's better to have 2. So for myling, we're looking for UV though. Spirit, we're looking for spirit box. It's not a shade, it blew out the candle was in it, but also I don't know how much I can trust this. Feel like I can trust it decently. Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Are you young? Are you old? Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? Let's go check our voice. Where are you? See, it's not working again. That's what probably the problem is. Where are you? See, it's not grabbing up my microphone again. So we're gonna need to do... We're gonna need to do the text.
This person died.
It's a spirit. Okay, let's go. So here's my advice to you with this update right now being in the state that it is. I would not rely on your voice being actively consistent in your game. I would check your voice activation in the book before you go into the house so that you know whether you're talking to the ghost, like the yokai test, or even talking to the board, anything like that you have to talk is working. Otherwise, you're going to need to put it on the text one where you can trigger it that way. Otherwise, it doesn't seem like the voice is consistently working at this time. So that's my small advice with you for this Phasmophobia cosmetics update until patches push through, which hopefully they will be. But there we go. We got our next ghostie. Ouch. And now we're gonna go to Grafton. I really do like Grafton. I have nothing against Grafton. I do enjoy it.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating.
All right, we are definitely keeping a flashlight on us though. That also brings, that was a 13-minute. All right, here we go. Cancel timer. Or do we just do cancel? Yeah, just cancel. So that one took 13 minutes. I'm gonna try to set up something here. There we go. I want to play around with this because, like, I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to put the split though. I don't know exactly, but I've been messing around with this because because of curiosity, to say the least. Curiosity, to say the least, to be honest with you. Now, I also don't know really how to use it, so that's, you know, its own situation. Ghost has not been identified, so that's that. But I do plan to use it with, what am I planning to use it with? I'm planning to use it with a Resident Evil 2 run at some point in time. I'm messing with things live, everybody. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. It's what I always do, mess with things live. Because why not, right? So that kind of works, right? And then we would just have to slide this over a little bit, or even do that. And so I wonder if this runs on its own. Does anybody use Live Split? Is anybody familiar with Live Split? Because I am not, and so I figured I start messing with this because I would like to try to do Resident Evil for the probably longest speed run in the world ever, but that's okay. Alright, I don't know. We'll try it. We'll figure this out. I wonder if it does it on its own. Or if I have to go in and queue something. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. I'm just gonna mess with it and figure out where we're at with it. Oh, it's Ducky. What I need to look up is, if anybody has any live splits made. Ooh, we got nothing over here. We do have the power on, so at least there's that. Oh, so I would click on it, I think. Interesting. Comparison? That's scary. So then if I find it, I think I would hit split. Okay, can I reset it? I can. All right, we're gonna reset it. I'm cheating. Shh, don't tell anybody. Not really, but I'm just learning out how to do this here, finding out, messing with all the things, because that's what you do when you learn. You mess with the things, right? So let's see. It is interesting to see there's about a 4-second delay on the stream, so that's actually very low. Hello, creepy doll room. I wonder if we have the mirror. Because as you can see, my clock has been kicking on my wrist, has been clicking down for like 2 minutes, so we don't have the mirror. What is the other thing? Oh, I don't know where the monkey paw hides usually. Yeah, I do. It's downstairs. Ouija board? I wonder if the Ouija board's working or not. We have hiding back here. Not the monkey paw, so must be maybe the voodoo doll or tarot cards. Think about where oh, it might be in this room. We might have found the room. Where's the Ouija board? I can't remember. It's upstairs. Yeah, it's definitely this room. So we would do this and we go, we would split, I think. Yeah, cool beans. All right, now first evidence. Let's see how long it takes to get our first evidence. I wonder, there has to be hotkeys or something you can do on your stream deck, right? All right. Definitely is the room, so we're gonna go back out and I'm just gonna turn these lights on. What is, oh, a box. Leave it to me to get stuck on a box. One thing I don't like about this map right here is not how far away the truck is. That really does make a difference in my patience. It definitely does make a difference in the patience for sure. We're gonna take in a crucie just in case, because I kind of burned a little bit of sanity going in trying to figure out this split thing, but actually it doesn't seem too bad. I'm just curious about having to split it manually. Wait, there was something it was picking up. Is that an orb? Yes, we got a Gorby. Put this up there. All right, first, which actually needs to come over here because we need to split, because that was our first evidence. Beeps! Hi, Beeps! Thanks for the ghost, what was it? Sound. The ghost sound. How are you doing? Let's put this down. And now we're waiting to find our second piece of evidence. It's not exactly freezing, but we got 1.2, 1.3. That was terrifying. That sounds like those dolls from Dollmare. I love you. Play with me. That really does sound like those dolls from Dollmare. Have you ever played that? Thank you for the blurpities. I appreciate you. Da, 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 da. Let's look for UV. We'll take this, and I'm gonna take it as smudge. Our sanity's what? 60. You haven't played? Dollmare is interesting. If you like, if you're okay with dolls, and you like a little bit of a creepy psychological type of game, it has 2 endings in it, and you kind of have to inspect dolls to get through certain tasks and figure out the story. So, welcome in, by the way. Let's turn this on. Okay, they need better lighting in this house. Let's see if we have a Gallu. Never mind. We have an orb, so it will definitely not be a Gallu. But it really does like walking in the salt, so it is not a wraith. Let's see if we got any UV. Does not seem like that. So no UV. I'm gonna leave this right here on the ground, and we'll go back and see if we can find, let's see, ghost writing. Yeah, we'll do ghost writing and our spirit box. So Beeps, welcome in. How did you find the channel, if you don't mind me asking? Some people have found me through Blurp before. Like, ooh, live channel, let's go there. Okay. Please tell me that's an event. It is not an event. Where is where I'm trying to go? Okay, we're just gonna do that because that might be a die-in. When I was moving, it's either like so die-in and the Revy can be so similar at the same time as different. Because where's our sanity at? No, I need yo. Where's our sanity? There it is, 50%. It's hard to see. Sorry, y'all. I don't have my flashlight on me, so. But even so, it's still impossibly hard to see. Rip. Our spirit box is just lost forever. It's just lost forever. Thankfully, the light from the windows just kind of helps guide a little bit. It could be dying because when I started moving like that, it really sped up. I really feel like it's dying, but you know, not 100% sure. So what are we gonna go in and test for specifically? We're gonna go test for orb. Well, we have the orb, EMF 5, and a spirit box. So that's our plan. EMF 5 and spirit box. We'll see. Well, I'm gonna have to get another spirit box because I have no clue where that one went. And then we'll just grab our flashlight so we're not running as blind as we were before. Because nobody likes running around in a creepy old house without being able to see. We'll still... Did I not even make it in there with the book? We'll still put that there just for a good cause. Seems to like really... Why is it knocking on the windows? Do you want to go outside? Is that what you're planning? We're not getting UV. I hope it doesn't spawn on my face. Oh, okay. So I'm pretty confident then that it's a die-in. So that's our second evidence. I'm Where the... Did I throw my flashlight out of my hand? Anrio, Mare, and Yokai. I don't think my talk is not working. We just don't have the EMF 5. Oh, that is... Okay, that is terrifying. It is in the mannequin room, and that just moved. That was a whole situation in its own. Lovely. That was terrifying. Also, it spawned last time and it did not burn the crucie. So that was rude. Not really giving me EMF 5, but I feel like it very much is. That is terrifying. I just don't know how to feel about this right now. Also, if anybody comes in and sees this live split thing, I'm messing around with it so that I can figure out how to use it with Ooh, there we go. So I can figure out how to use it with Resident Evil when I eventually do that this summer. So, woo, that was 11 minutes. Let's go. Yes, we are professional. I seriously, like, some people can probably run in and figure it out within 5 minutes. Probably within 5 minutes. Not me, though. It took me 11 minutes. I figured out the first evidence within 5 minutes, though. That counts, right? Alright, so now how do I do this to do, like, another run? Do I just click on it? Do I save the split? Save split as... what? Oh, that's how you upload it, I guess, right? Are there even... Hold on. Are there Phasmophobia speedruns? What is it? Like speedrunner? I think it tells me right on here. SRL races. Interesting. I don't know. Speedrunner. No, like live split. Like, what is that website that people go to look at these speedrun? Speedrun.com? Let's see if there's a Phasmophobia one. There is. Why am I not shocked? There's a Minecraft Phasmophobia one? What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, so... Oh, it was on... There you go. So they do. There's the Tanglewood Street. 30 seconds. Second place is 2 minutes. 55 seconds. So this is like perfect contract. Nell's Diner. This is evidence. Okay, so let's see what a perfect. So on Tanglewood would be like 3 minutes, 31 seconds. That's interesting. There's none for Grafton Farmhouse? A perfect is just standard too. Should we do a Grafton one? I don't want to do a perfect one though. Evidence. We can just do this one here, like with the evidence here. 37 seconds to find all of them. Look, we can take 3rd place if we do it within... Like, look, our 11-minute can fit in there, right? Man, how do people... Nobody has it for Brownstone. Any percent. So this is any percent. Grafton. like that? A minute 23, any percent? But getting the ghost right? Interesting. Should we try? Should we try our own? So, does it... There's guides. Evidence percent. So... What does it mean by, like, evidence percent, I guess? Custom, no evidence? Let's see, do people have any? No, nobody has... Oh, they have, like, the any percent? I'm surprised there's not other people that are using the speed run. Okay, so what if I reset this then? Reset. You have beaten some of your best times. Do you want to update them? Yes. Okay. Well. Hi, Ace beat down. Hello. My thing just like put your W and N on its own line and I could not see it. I am just exploring some Phasmophobia speedrunning. I don't know why, but I'm doing very well. I hope you're well. Welcome in. I am trying to learn this live split thing because why not, you know? What better thing to do on a Saturday than to randomly mess with live split, right? Phasmophobias, I like it. I'm a little upset with the update right now. Have you played it with the update? Let's go back to Tanglewood. So where's our farmhouse? I'm working towards the challenges, like the badges that we get here. We're at 23 out of 50. Not yet. There are some things, you know, an update is a new... It's a shiny mess. It's a shiny mess sometimes. But the customization is not terrible. Wait. Farmhouse ID. Why did it... Oh, hi. Welcome in, Ghostie. Thank you so much for that follow. Thank you. Why does it not update? I thought we were at 24. I guess I'm gonna leave it right there. Let's go back to Bleasdale. No, I mean Grafton. I'm sorry, that's where we were. So all I'm doing right now is just kind of messing around, trying to get these badges, and I'm unprofessional. I usually like to play a nightmare, but I'm gonna do that. Would you like to see the new screen with the customization, or would you like to explore that on your own? I don't want to spoil anything if you do plan to go for it yourself one day. I don't know where to put this thing, like this live split thing. I also have to find out, there has to be a way to... Ooh, race. Oh, look, here we go. Oh. What is that? I don't even know what those are. I wonder if people have like... Alright, stop wondering. Just stop wondering. Alright, into Grafton we go.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set
Oh,
up
it already
before
starts.
investigating.
Oh, it starts on its own. That's pretty cool. Alright, well... We're gonna go and try to figure out where the ghost is found. Yeah, this works. Oh, and it's a blood moon. That's lovely. We love ourselves a blood moon. So as you can see, there's a watch now, and you hold your flashlight in your left hand. However, it does not open any new slot availability for your right hand. Darn, I was hoping the mirror would be here so then I can
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Ace beat down? What? No way. Wait a second. I'm going to look at that. Was that $25? I want to pause this really fast. How do I pause this? Thank you so much for donating. Thank you so much for donating to St. Jude. I appreciate you. Well, $25 is quite interesting. It's one I haven't had yet. Since I said this. So, I'm gonna have to wear this on my head for a little bit. We'll see how long we can last. But also, yeah, I'm kind of worried about this. So let's go. Let's put this on, shall we? Thank you so much for donating that $25 to St. Jude's. Are you familiar with St. Jude's? I appreciate you. Let's go. You're amazing. All right, let's go ahead and try it. Okay, let's try to get this on, shall we? This is gonna be something. I'm gonna look very interesting. You are. That's amazing. So we're working on getting to 1,500. I think this is how this goes, right? 1,500. So that we can provide a day of chemo to a patient. So this is my second year with them. All right. What do you think? Is it everything that we've ever wanted to see? Do you like my hair? It's I have a head that's too big. Thank you so much for that dono. I appreciate you. If it could cover my ears, that would be better. Like, look at this. All right. It's perfect. Thank you so much for the 100 biddies. All right, what do you think? New style? It's perfect. Everybody should get one and probably should wear it. What do you think? Would you wear this? Also, you will be getting... I'll send you a link if you're okay with it. To a digital good. And what happens is you're going to get the very first edition of a St. Jude Play Live Little Miss Kami playing card. So you'll get to decide which design you would like. And that's my thank you for your dono to St. Jude. So thank you so much. I'll send you over a Google form you can fill out and let me know what color you want. Where Little Miss Kami will be, it'll say your name instead, and it'll be a digital thing that I will send to you if you would like. If you do not want it, you can let me know. That is perfectly fine as well. Thank you so much. I can choose? All right. So I'll send it to you after I make it. I'll send you the link to access it, and then you can just, save it to your computer. And I'll send it to you on Twitch, since I don't have you on Discord or anything like that, if you're okay with that. I want to write your name down. Ace Beatdown. So, Phasmophobia is... How experienced are you with Phasmophobia? I don't want to talk to you if you're like a newbie and then say things that you wouldn't understand, or, maybe you're experienced, maybe you're a better player than I. When you say that... Now that song's gonna be stuck in my head. Control and undo. Okay. Aw, man. Can we just restart? Let's just restart. Control, reset. Haha, we're resetting. We're going back in. Gotta find where the power is. No music box. I would really love to have the Ouija board. I wonder if my voice is working this time. Where? Here it is. I could not figure that out to save my life. Audio, push to talk. Okay, it's working this round, so I can actually put it back on voice. It hasn't been working consistently with my voice for some reason, even though I haven't changed any settings. Yes. Okay. No! Where are you? Where are you? The Ouija board has been broken, y'all. Where are you? Where are you? This is going very well. This is going very, very well. Okay. Hopefully it won't just break because I can't... It's kind of just like a block. It's kind of like a block. Let's go this way. See what we got going on. Oh, okay. We got ourselves an EMF 5. That's always fun. Diane, Galu, Jin, Shade, Wraith, Twins. I wonder what it did in here that caused me to get EMF 5. It's also not really that cold. So is it up here or is it downstairs? Let's go look at the room below. Uh-oh, I'm off to a bad start. Okay, I don't see it here either. I joined the Discord to make it easier. Hope you have a great day. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for that donation. That's amazing of you. It is a good cause. They're already at... Where are they at? They're over 600... Wait a second. That is a lot more than what I've seen this morning. They're already at 612,000. That's amazing. Just in 9 days. People are putting in work for this one here. I kind of want to get off of the blood moon here. Kind of want to get off the blood moon. Control and reset. Oh, it was a wraith. Jake would be very disappointed. Jake would be very disappointed in that right now because I left on a wraith. He would be like, what are you even doing with your life? How did you even leave the wraith? All right, we gotta move fast. We gotta move fast. We're speedrunners now. We're learning how to speedrun. We're gonna go in and check. That's why I want to go back to here because it's smaller. So this one would be a better learn how to speedrun map for sure. Okay, well that was something in itself. I don't think we'll ever find that fast ever again, but that's EMF 5. It's very throwy. Interesting. Very aggressive right off the bat. Wasn't freezing, so it didn't give us that. Let's go in with some salt. Look at that activity right off the bat. That's crazy. Hopefully, let's see, what do we got on our board? This is the day of EMFs, I guess, because... Oh, my bad. Did not know you were standing there. I always salt my ghost. That always ends up happening. We did not get a second evidence. It is not... Alright, not a Galu. And we don't have any UV from that. So let's go back out. At least it's right here. We haven't even turned the power on yet. Let's see. Look at that. It's like a step stool. We're gonna go in with this, and let's do some spirit box. Although I probably, I guess my sanity shouldn't be that bad yet. I don't... There... Wait, was that an orb or was that... Yeah, that was an orb. We have an Orby. So that is our second evidence. Three degrees, 2 degrees. So, Obake Raiju are dying. Oops. Alright. Where are you? Actually, I probably should see if this is going to pick up my voice. Push to talk. See, it's not working this time. Push to talk. Hello, hello. It just touched the window behind me. Alright, so we're going to have to use this. Any window box? Nope. It seems very active, so it might... I hate that, like, hesitation. And it keeps making me look down. So click and then move my mouse. It's not as fast as it was before because of that animation. Okay, there is a chance that we're not going to get spirit box. So Obake would have the fingerprints for sure. We're gonna take this in. I think we can get ghostwriting, right? Maybe? No? Okay, maybe not. Alright, we're not going to get ghostwriting at all. So, let's not even waste our time with that. Then what would we get? Dots? Perhaps? Oh my goodness, I'm going in without my lighter? That is breaking the rules. And by rules, I mean my own created rules that I must live by in Phasmophobia. Rule number 2 is do not forget your lighter. You're pretty much cooked if you are trying to run and smudge. Let's check temperatures, see if we're in here. Still in here, yes. Definitely still in here. Power's not even on. With it being this active without the power on, that is going to be a ghost that we must, you know, we must fear. Oh, the power's right here. That's perfect. Put this up. Are you serious? Instantly breaks it. So it's not a Raiju. I feel like the Raiju would want the power on, wouldn't it? Or did it is it a Raiju and they overloaded the system? Look at all this stuff moving around. Holy crap. What would make it a Raiju? Dots. So we just kind of have to watch for dots. Which sometimes I feel like it gives us dots quickly, and sometimes it gives us dots fast, solid, multiple times, back to back to back. And then sometimes it just goes to sleep. And I fear that this one might be a sleepy ghost. Definitely not getting UV. It's definitely not a mare. I'm gonna go with Raiju, to be honest with you. Stop messing with everything. Oh my goodness, you're a nuisance. It really is turning on, like, all the things that are powerful. It just does not want to give me the dots. Why not? We're gonna go back in with try the spirit box again. It's probably gonna get ready to hunt, so it's probably gonna burn the crucie in the next couple of seconds. We shall see. A little bit warmer in here. It's out in the hallway now. There we go. Why can I not pick this up? Do I have too much in my hand? Okay. Alright, it moved rooms. Wait, where did the camera... What? Where did the camera go? Y'all, it ate my camera. I picked up the tripod and the camera disappeared? What do you mean? Did it fall and I just don't know where? Okay, that's a feature. How did I... What? It ended up back in here? That is so weird. So you pick up the... Wait a second. We're about to do this again. Okay, put this on here. Oh, no. It's going to hunt very soon. Let's put this out here. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on so we can see. Here's the camera on the tripod. Pick up tripod. What? What happened last time? Weird. Somehow that ended up back in the van, but you know, we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna keep on keeping on. It's going to be fine. 1.8, 2.1. We're not getting freezing. We are getting EMF again. I don't know if it's Diane. Let's try the spirit box out here in the hallway since it moved. And then we can maybe call it. Alright, I'm just gonna go rise you and get out of my way. Oh, it turned on the thing over there. Houston, we're in the red. This is not good. We're gonna call it a Raiju. And it was a die-in. Okay, that one did not go well, so we're going to reset. Hey, we got $500 though. We got $500. That is fantastic. Alright, I'm gonna take this thing off. Ooh. Oh yeah, love the hair. Perfect hairstyle, don't you think? Ooh. Now my hair is like, ooh. Don't even know what's happening. Alright, time to get it comfy. Actually, I should have probably gone to get some more water. Oh, that's okay. So we did not get that ghosty. Alright, I don't know. We'll go back and take a one.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating.
I'm actually going to exit the live split.
We've had reports of violence, and it looks like they left in a hurry.
Or try to. No. Okay, there we go. Alright, that didn't go too bad with the live split there. So let me go ahead and fix my camera and my chat. So camera, right side. Pretty much stayed there. Where's my chat? Gonna scroll this down here. Hopefully that's where it needs to be. And then gaming screen, we're going to go like that. Perfect. And then St. Jude. I'm just gonna slide it back like that. Perfect. Ta-da! Wait, why am I taking the dots? I think I'm so trained from the Easter one where I was just grabbing the dots and going. Oh, actually, I see that the ads are popping up. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go on a 3-minute ad break. I'm going to stand up and stretch, and then I will be right back after. Right back after. Ah! Yeah, click classic view. There's, I gotta figure out how to link those. You must be on mobile, but hi man down, welcome in. You must be on mobile. So I got into the beta for the vertical, okay, OBS, thank you, for the vertical live stream, and I don't think I linked my scenes how I'm supposed to. And so the vertical part is not showing up very well. So make sure you click classic view for right now, that way you'll be able to see it. Otherwise it's going to be a black screen, and I don't know why, because this scene is clicked, it's linked to my live scene, but it is not showing. So sorry for that. So sorry about that. Unless it's showing now. I don't know. There we go. Hi. Did you have to click the classic view? I'm trying to learn the stuff and the things. Alright, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what I need to do, but I click the things that's supposed to be linked and it's not linking, so I wonder what I could do better. How are you doing though? Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. We do have an ad break that's coming up here in about 44 seconds. It is a 3-minute ad break, but that gives me time to get up, stretch, and get my water, and then we'll be back to the Phasmo shenanigans. We're at 1,270 raised for St. Jude. Let's go. Thank you, everybody. Man down, I hope I will catch you here after the ad break really fast. And if not, I understand, but thank you for popping in today. I appreciate it. All right, let's see if this one links. Link scenes. Be right back. See, it's linked, but it's not linking. I don't know. All right, we will be right back. It was so much easier than what is happening right now. She just literally went like kaboom, like this, and it's much easier than what is happening right now. She just literally went like kaboom, like this, and I needed to put my hand a little bit further down. We're gonna do a Galue test and we're gonna do a Wraith test. What? I never noticed the really big bunny. That is terrifying. Are there others? No. All right, so here we go. If you come out of the van and you turn to the right, you're going to see two glowing eyes, and it is a creepy bunny. Because, ready? Say daddy's home. And it's a lot, like literally, the chicken nuggies are going to trigger. Oh my gosh, there's a chicken on his face. There's a chicken dancing on this guy's face. This poor guy. Thank you so much for the. Oh look, I'm level 69. Ooh woo. Wait, what? Ew, gross. Why did we say that? Stop it. Stop it. It's definitely this event, you know. There's no way my sanity is not like this low. Rule number 6. Listen, I'm not necessarily hiding. Rule number 6, don't hide in the ghost room. It's Cappuccino! There is no way I won this 4 times. 4 times, and you know that I cannot hide anything with my face. You know, if it's nasty, I cannot hide it. If it is spicy, I cannot hide it. If I'm annoyed by you, I can't hide it. Am I like the Bean Boozled champion, right? Thank you. Okay, so, chat has redeemed. Thank you so much for the level 5, Tangi. It's first off glitched again. It's glitched again. There's a Tangia party. Knocked our goal out. Thank you so much. They just knocked our goal out of the water, so we upped it to $850. I Ghosties, if you don't know, our wonderful leader of the crypt, it's Kristen Rose, and she is also raising money for St. Jude as well, and does so many amazing things. I'm broke. Much easier than what is happening right now. She just literally went like kaboom, like this, and I needed to put my hand a little bit further down. Okay. What the heck? No! happened? What just... Hi, Sal. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for coming with that first time chat. How are you? I went and changed. I said, no more dress. Comfy hoodie. Let's do it. How are you doing? Welcome into my Phasmophobia world. How's your Saturday going? I believe it might be a Saturday for you. Maybe. Hi, Ost. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. How are you doing? We also have another... I don't think I'll give the big one, but... There we go. You're welcome. You're welcome. So we got... Let's see. Look, I love giving the big shout out so I can click if I'm learning about people. So it looks like you got some retro, some Legend of Zelda, Legend of Zelda under your belt, and some... What was that last one? Pokemon Champions? I can only see the side of it. We got Sal in here. We got Oz with some Division 2. How are y'all doing? Welcome into my side of the Phasmophobia world. Lighter. Do we have the lighter? Okay. Perfect. Now we're ready for getting back here. Also, if anybody is viewing on mobile and it is black right now, please hit the classic view and you'll be able to see. Unfortunately, with, I don't know. I apparently accidentally activated a 30-second dance party. So we got dancing modes. If we got dancing modes, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat. Because I accidentally activated our 30-second dance party, but that's okay. Yeah, or turn your phone sideways. Thank you for that. So either classic view or turn your phone sideways. I don't know why it will show up sideways, but it won't show up the other way. Oh no, it probably didn't. If you redeemed it, when did you redeem it? I missed it, like hours ago probably. I actually just need to get that one out of there, to be honest with you, because that one was from when I had Streamer Bot, and then I switched over to the updated Streamer Bot, and it did not have, I don't know, it lost everything. So I said, ew, gross, no, goodbye. So yeah, I will give that Boo Bucks back to you. I just haven't recreated it. That one works, that one's good, that one's good. That one's good, that one's good. That one's good, that one's good. We'll get rid of that one. I'm gonna just reject all and delete. So you should have that back now. PNG me is still there. This one we're gonna turn off until I can fix it. That one's not working. That one works. Let's turn off that one for right now till I fix it. Okay, cool beats. I think we updated there. I read there was a new feature. They're trying a... Wait, for what one? For what? Oh, the beta thing? Yeah, I need to look in there. I just got in there yesterday, so... Oh? Is it the bathroom? Oh! Hi, how are you doing? Wow, you are very solid. Why'd you close the door? I don't want to be trapped in here with you. Please go away. Disappear. Be gone. Okay. Well, that was fun. Anybody got a pair of pants that I can borrow? Because that was just... I did not have being trapped in the bathroom with a ghost on my bingo card for today. Did anybody else? That was a solid one. Was that an Oni? Do we have an Oni on our hand? Okay, so Bathroom. Cool beans. We love it. Let's go and turn on the power. Let's see. Is it in here? There was a new feature that they're trying. Yeah, so it's open to select streamers right now. The vertical streaming and then streaming in 2K. So that's currently where we're at. We're beta testing. So I did everything right. I mean, obviously it's streaming vertical because if you go to my YouTube side, that's vertical. It's working and it's linked up. So it has to be something with the Twitch side that we gotta figure out. I think I have somebody that's gonna help me out with it when I have a chance. But how's everybody's Saturday going? Does anybody have any weekend plans, or is it more of a chill and relax kind of day? I'm gonna be a little busy this evening. I'm gonna be around a lot of people. Going into the downtown world, and there's a lot going on today. We have some Orbeez. Not exactly where I wanted to stop it, but I mean, it'll be fine. I'll throw this down just in case it's an early hunter. It still covers most of the bathroom, so it's not freezing. Why? I swear that the light was over there, so we do have hiding right here. That's good. Okay, let's go get a book and a spirit box. I got done dealing with graduation. So what did you have to do, like, graduation-wise? Were you in the graduation? Was somebody you know in the graduation? Listen, playing video game weekends are fantastic. I am excited to have plans, but at the same time, just like, I just want to nap after a stream and eat snacks and game later. I don't want to go deal with a bajillion people, but I'm gonna have to. Oh, oh, that's right, you did mention that. Oh, lots of college graduations. Hands on deck. Oh, the college ready for graduation and cleaning up afterwards. Oh, that had to be exhausting. Ooh, we got Revy on here. Okay, let's see if my voice is going to register. Let's go to pause menu, options, audio, push to talk. See, it's like literally every other map that my voice is working. Okay, where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Are you young? Are you old? Where are you? Are you young? Are you victim? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you far? Where are you? I don't think we're going to get that. So we have writing in the book. Was that my breath? Yeah, I think that was my breath. I thought it was... Oh, no, it was dots. Okay, so we know exactly what it is. It is a they. Oh, yep. Nope, we're out of here. Most of our deaths are to a they. So, it's a they. Let's go. Wow, this would have been one for the live split. Unless it's a memo. I don't know. We have a ghost orb. Nah, it's a they. It's gotta be a they. Yes, let's go. It was, in fact, a they. This is how we do it. 24 out of 50. Although that one seems to always be one behind.
Alright, we're here.
Okay, so 24. I think we're actually at 25. We literally might be halfway there. So now we're tied with the houses. Back in. So my goal by the end of this year, summer, we're going to try some more APOC challenges. I might be able to do them. I might be able to. We already have the bronze APOC trophy, so we're definitely going to need to go for the gold and the silver. I think, you know, it's easier just to go for gold. But, you know, we might try for silver if we get discouraged. And then I want to try to get as many of these, like, map-based challenges done. So we're doing the Tanglewood. Why did I sound like that? What in the Forrest Gump? The Tanglewood challenge, and we just completed Nell's, and then the farmhouse ones, which is just simple. You just go in, you basically identify the ghost and survive. Not too challenging. Unless you get a ghost that's just being a pain in the butt, but you know. I put it down to professional so we could get all three to clarify which ghosties we have, so that we're not second guessing and getting them wrong. Okay, it's a hallway ghost. Let's go ahead and turn these lights on, and then this. I love that the power is just right here at the bottom of the stairs. Let's do a temperature check, see what's going on. 8, 10, 14. All right, do we have hallway hiding? We do. We're gonna go this way. Which side is the light on? I think, is it down here still? Oop, where's the wall? No, it's not down here. Where's the light? Is there not a light switch anymore? Where's the light switch? Oh, well, it's fine. I didn't want... Oh, wait. Here it is. There we go. That was easy. That took a hot minute. Why was the hardest thing on this map so far finding the light switch? This, and this. Just in case it wants to try to hunt. We're actually, our sanity is very good. So if it's trying to hunt, then it's 100% a demon. Why do I feel like I heard it over there? There's some EMF 5. Literally. Okay, we have an invisible. This is this is our invisible EMF. I'm so confused right now. There it is. Okay. Our no sound. Our no sound, what's that called? Dots. Everything is working perfectly. The door is opening. Minus! Oh, it's a dots. Hello, hello, how are you doing? Happy Saturday to you. We have dots. I'm pretty sure it was either EMF 4 or 5. I can't be so confident, I'm not sure. I want to say it was a 5, but I'm, you know, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to it. Do 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 do. Yeah, I guess I could take these two, and we'll just take it as smudge just in case. And then I'll come back, we'll do a... What do we even have left? We don't even need to do that, but we do need to do a wraith test, and... Because if we got EMF 5, I'm pretty sure that's still wraith. Put the book there. Where are you? Are you near? Better go check. Audio, push to talk. See, now on this map, I did nothing different. Nothing different, and it's not working. Hi, Ash and Faze. Welcome back. Thanks so much for coming back. I'm doing good. I'm mentally preparing for a very busy evening in a place with lots and lots of people. Where are you? Are you near? Oh, I gotta turn off the lights. Y'all, I don't even know how to Phasmo. Where are you? Oh, that's right. I can't even use that. So I have to go in here and I have to... Oh, see, that was EMF 5. So Wraith is still on the board. Okay, well. I guess we don't have to do an EMF check because this is in fact a Wraith. Alright, so we're gonna get out of here. As long as it's right, then we have another correct ghost under our badge for Tanglewood. There we go. That wasn't so bad. See, look at that. We're speedrunning now. Not when I have the actual stuff up for speedrunning, but now we're speedrunning. It's fine. Ta-da! Let's go! It was... Oh. Okay, good thing that didn't pop through, because yay. I'm happy. Sometimes our sounds... Now we are literally halfway there. We're halfway there. Whoa! We're living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Whoa! 25 out of 50 for our Tanglewood completion. I decided when I fight the Berserkers, I'm going to wear the Stangborn, or is it Bajorn set, because the defense is crazy high. Ooh. Good luck on that. So that's Ragnarok. Yeah, Mike took, like, that battle was the worst. Like, his worst enemy. I think it took him 3 or 4 days of trying. They're so hard. Oh, apologies for the yawn. We got front room hiding. Oh, finally, we got a pretty big bone there. Haven't seen a bone in a hot minute. Oh, we have Floppy Frank. Let's poke him a little bit. All right. Sounds like it's a living room ghostie or hallway. Probably a hallway. We're gonna need to turn the power on. It also touched the light, so it's not a mare. 10 degrees here. 12. That's more than one. Super annoying, and they aren't as tough as the Valkyrie from 2018. Oh, they're not. Or maybe it was the Valkyrie that took him days. I don't know if it was Berserkers or the Valkyrie. Those are... What was that sound? That was terrifying. Okay, so it's living room ghostie. I need to get to the garage and turn the power on. We're about 80%, I believe. Let's see. Let's see how close we are. I think the Valkyrie. I think it might have been the Valkyries. That's 3 of them. I'm getting them backwards. Ooh, 80%. Yep. Let's take this in. The main problem is the Berserker arenas are tiny compared to the Valkyrie. Yeah, well, I feel like the Valkyrie definitely needs to be the size it is, or you're doomed. Was that an orb? Yes, that was an orb. EMF 5 and orb. It's as if we've seen this story once before. So EMF 5 and orb. We have literally had EMF 5 and orbs quite a lot today. Let's put this down. We'll just toss it there. That's fine. Let's go turn on the power. Open. I am so bad at opening these doors, and I have no reason, no idea why. Don't have any garage hiding. That's fine though. Well, is it? I don't know, because I'm gonna need... We have this hiding, but that could be really bad for line of sight. Oh, that would be even better. Okay, so if we actually come down here, we can break line of sight, but I don't even know if we'll get to a hunt 9 Valkyrie and 13 Berserkers. 9 Valkyrie, gross. There's so many. So many. We'll do a Wraith test. No, we won't do. We'll do Obake. We'll see if there's an Obake. Raiju. I mean, it keeps flickering the powers in there. It might be a Raiju. It's like, give me the power. Wait, I think I have upgraded salt. Why do I have tier 2? Oh, hi. Okay, Wraith. What? Not Wraith. Raiju. Okay, we got our second ghost. It is a Raiju. Woohoo, let's go. Wow, these ghosts have been participating today. I've been able to get in and out. This is how this should be. Finally, let's go. Let's go. That brings us to 26. That brings us to 26. Perfect. Going right back in.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating. Because here seems to be linked to a...
I would like to get to 30 before we end stream today, and we're actually going to be ending in about an hour because I have to leave. Oh, right in, get the bone, perfect. See if we got any hiding in here. We do. No ghosts in that space. We have the music box. We also have the ghost in here, apparently. Oh, hi! Why are you appearing that fast? Rude! Okay, fine. Just break the lights, that's fine. I didn't need them. Yeah, I don't think it's safe in here. I think we probably need to go. So, it still seems relatively warm for the activity going on in here. I mean, it's still like 11 degrees. It's not that cold. But yeah, we definitely got activity going on in there. So do we have hiding in there? We do, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so we'll go. I don't think I grabbed my lighter. No, I definitely did not, which is fine because I don't need it right now, but that could be pretty bad if we don't grab that in the future. With that being a venting ghost that fast, I'm gonna take in the cruci. Throw down some salt. We don't even have the power on. Oh, my bad. Sorry, Ghostie. I need to upgrade my salt. I'm gonna see if it's a Gallu. Give it a couple of seconds. See if it steps through the salt. Oh, not a Gallu. We also don't have any UV. I'm just gonna plop this down here also, and then you're eventing again. It's only 2 minutes in. Why are you eventing so much? Power's in here apparently. Go ahead and turn that on. Yeah, that's pretty much the ghost. Is like, hey, notice me. Pew, pew, pew. Ghost powers everywhere. This... Apparently it's breaking things. Like, could you chill? I'm only investigating. I don't want to, you know... Am I liable? Do I have to replace broken things due to ghost events and hunts? Because if so, that would really suck, and I probably should write that into my contracts when I come to ghost hunt. All right, I made an executive decision. We're just gonna go with the evidence items. We'll worry about the crucifix, or not the crucifix, the smudge later. I think we'll be able to get in without it hunting. Well, apparently it'll just try to close the door on us, but that's fine. It's perfectly fine. We don't have any orbs this time, so there's that. Why did I take this out with me anyways? That was our first problem. Oh, okay. Well, we got dots. That's lovely. Ooh, Dio's on the board. We do love ourselves a Dio. I was scared. I was like, I don't love myself a Dio when I'm in that space and I don't have a smudge. Because I was about to say, we are cooked. I couldn't get past it. There's nowhere to loop in this side of the house. You have to be living room area, kitchen area, the, you know, basement, the garage. Like, that's the looping side. Oh yeah, it broke the... It broke them, so... Alright, we got Spirit Box, which means it could be a Dio. It's not a Wraith, and I don't think it's a Yokai. Hopefully it's a Dio. I want to leave it on if we hear the Dio growl. Okay, this one's gonna be... Alright, let's see if we can anger it. Hey, Yokai. Yokai? Are you Yokai? Yokai? Just making sure I have a smudge or I will regret things. I think it might be a Dio, though. Hello, hello? Hello, hello, hello? Because if I'm talking near it and it's not getting annoyed, probably a Dio. Hello, hello? Hey. Hello? You smell like burnt rubber. It's not even burning the crucifix, so... Oh, my eye itches. I keep getting hair in my eye today, and it's driving me crazy. Alright, so it said I'm not going to be writing you a love note, so maybe it's not a Dio, and maybe it is a Yokai. I'm sad. I wanted it to be a Dio. In your father's smell of elderberries. Alright, so Yokai? I wanted it to be a Dio. I love Dios. Dios, Revies, and Obake. Those are my favorites. What? Or a phantom. The fuck? Okay. What did I cross out? We had Spirit Box and dots.
This must be the reason that the ghost was summoned here. Take a look. You may be able to use it to your advantage.
Did I cross out something wrong and I wasn't paying attention? We didn't get UV. Oh well. My bad. Whatever. Nobody was here for that. Nobody saw anything. We're starting over. Hi, welcome to Phasmophobia. This is my very first game. Oops. And back in we go. Well, I thought I knew things, but I guess I didn't. I crossed out something wrong. Thankfully, it's not a blood moon. But then again, blood moon would have made it go a little bit faster. Right. We're just gonna pretend like the last match didn't happen. Oh, cool. A pine cone? Why are you throwing pine cones and stuff? Okay, so we have a hallway ghostie. Not getting EMF 5 at the moment. We have no height. Wait. We do have hiding in the hallway, but that's considered the ghost room. So our own rule is rule number 6. Do not hide in the ghost room. Okay, let's throw this. Let's go get the power on. Let's actually just look down here. Okay. I do have to say, I think with this update, I don't crouch as much when I walk anymore. And I don't know why. We're gonna go get UV because it's touching a lot of things indoors. Oh, hi, mamas. What are you doing? I don't know what your obsession is with that box right now, but can we not? We're gonna get the UV this, and it probably wouldn't hurt to take in a crucie. Break the stick. We'll put out some salt. Oh my goodness. Hi. Hi, how you doing? Our co-streamer has arrived. She's come to help find some ghosts with me. Here, would you like your EMF? I want to find... Guys, we need... Oh, where's your EMF? We need to find cat toys that are an EMF, a ghost, a thermometer. Like, who can find me that? Alright, it is not a Galio. At least we know that. Oh, we already knew that too. But how stinking cute would that be? So I can get co-streamer. Some of you haven't even met co-streamer yet. I'm gonna get a camera set up for her. Yeah. Don't hiss at me. You smell of elderberries. Co-streamer, her name's Bailey. It's my cat. She likes to come over here. Usually, she avoids me until she hears like there's a raid or something, or when I go live. And then she comes over here and is like, oh, hi, can everybody please pay attention to me? She walked away already. Bailey, come here, mamas. Hi, mamas. They want to see you. Come see your fans. Come on this side. Can you come on this side? Come over here. Come on. She blends in with my hoodie all the time. Come here. Come on this side. This side. This is co-streamer. Her name's Bailey. Come on. There you go. Say hi, co-streamer. Say hi. This is Bailey. She's our ghost investigating cat. Are you gonna stay over here? Yeah, so this is her stream. I'm the voice of it, you know? Alright, going back over here. You see the tail. But yeah, she likes to pop over to let people know that she's here when there's like a raid or stuff. But how stinking cute would it be to have a EMF cat toy or a thermometer cat toy? Do you see my little hairs right here? Like, why is it bunched up? Do you see any orbs? There's a lot of movement. Oh, I did not turn that on, so it's not a mare. I don't even know if that's an option right now because I don't know where we're at in Ghost Hunting Land. Here it is. So I was like, wait, where's the dots? I'm pretty sure I brought it in. Oh, I just noticed the archway. This is such a 90s archway for sure. For sure. I really do like the Tanglewood decoration update. Hi, Joe! The real question is, what are we getting at Target? I look like a potato today. I don't look like Target, Kami. I look like a potato. How are you doing, Joe? Oh, wait. Let's go outside and test my voice really fast. Yes, I do have to do this very often because it seems like every other game, the audio won't work. Okay, so far we're good. So let's go back to here. Joe, I have to go be people-y today. I'm sad. I mean, I'm excited but sad at the same time. There's gonna be so many. I look lovely. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm doing good though. I'm going to be downtown and there's so many events happening. There's gonna be so many people. I have to take my RTA, which is the transit. And I've told you experiences. I don't know if you were here, but I've told experiences. Oh, you're taking mom out. It's Mother's Day. Sunday. I'm gonna be so very honest with you. I have my mom. I love my mom. Love my mom. But my grandma was like my mom. Was like my mom. And these are the last 14 days. And I'm so... No, no, please don't. That is on me. I'm still working through me. No, please don't feel you were never in the wrong. I am okay. I'm at the point where it's a bittersweet, but I forgot it's Mother's Day. I think I'm kind of blocking the whole month of May out of my existence, to be honest with you. But I need to make sure. I need to call my mom at least. Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Are you young? Are you old? Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Where are you? Are you near? Are you taking your mom to like something, like, does she have a favorite food? I lost the card I got from my mom with my kid's photo in it. Oh no! I'm sure you'll find it. It'll, after you like replace it and get the photo and everything, you'll find it. Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Are you young? Are you old? Are you a victim? Are you freaking angry? Because you're throwing everything on the ground. What the heck? It's definitely not a shade, and it just turned off the light. Or something. I don't know. I heard a click. Oh, it turned on the light. What the heck? It's not a mare. Ooh, what kind of food can you get? Is it like a mix of food? Or is it Italian? I'm gonna share something. I got it back immediately, but I'll be right back. Ow! I ordered this for Mother's Day, but unfortunately it came late, and it came like a couple of days right before Grandma passed away, and so she never really got to have it. But it's like a little stained glass thing, and it says Marissa and Grandma. It's just this little cute thing that I got her. So this hangs up over... I should probably put it over here. I should put it over here. Mostly Italian, yes. I'll be there, you know, gotta introduce myself to your mom. No, I'm just kidding. Your mom will be like, get away. She'll just take the wooden spoon and like beat me away, like, get away. You say ricotta, not ricotta, or however you say it. You call yourself Italian and you're not saying mozzarella? I don't even know if she's Italian. I'm just... Dang, we on that level? Yeah, we're on that level. Where have you been? Where have you been? Are we not on... Are you saying we're not on that level, Joe? My heart. Rip. It threw the camera. It threw the camera, y'all. Oh, it's writing me a story. It's definitely not a shade. I don't think it's a they, unless it's aged. Ooh. Revies on the board. We do love ourselves some revies. Y'all, I don't know. What is this? Schnickums, we are totally on that level. That's what I thought. Just kidding. Hi, Jade. Welcome in. How are you doing? Hold on. I owe some shouty outies here. We'll do this one. Then I have to wait a minute. We'll get Jade a big one as well. Not getting for a reason. Jade, what is... Why is Pulte? Why is Pulte not on our list? Hold on. Are we sure that Pulte's not on our list? That was like a mini Pulte bomb. What are you talking about? That was a mini Pulte bomb. Did you see that? It's coming for my soul. There was like 5 things that just went flying. Even threw it out the door. Guys, I think we have a Pulte. Would you chill? I want to make a bigger Pulte bomb. Ay, ay, ay. Quit burning the crucie. Ain't nobody got time for that. Listen, Linda, you are... I'm calling Ghostbusters. Okay, we're dead. I don't know if this is a hunt or if it's just stalking me. I think it's a Pulte, though. You're welcome. I'm doing good, Jade. I'm doing good. I'm getting bullied by a ghost. Come at me. Now let me make a Pulte bomb. I'm gonna go get... that was broken. Is my arm broken again? Okay, here's the gnome. Okay, got the gnome. Oh, yep. There's my hand. I'm holding the objects with my teeth again. I don't know why this is an obsession. I can't explain it, but it is what it is. We don't ask questions. We listen and we don't judge. Let's go ahead and get Jade that shouty outy too. Ghosties, so if you don't know Jade, please stop by and give Jade a follow. Jade will be streaming live with us on Thursday. We're going to be streaming together. You judge. Don't judge my broken hand. I like to carry things with my teeth. But we're going to go back to some old, like, my beginning roots here. And that was Ghost Exorcism Inc. So if you haven't seen Ghost Exorcism Inc., it's similar to Phasmophobia. However, the ghost character models, you can look at it, you know exactly what it is. Your job is to figure out the evidence to determine what you need to do to exorcise the ghost. So it's different. There's multiple different yeah, have you seen me? Watch, I'll pick up something. So yeah, your job is to figure out how to exorcise the ghost. See? There's my hand down there, and I'm carrying this drill somehow. Yep. It's what I do. Did I not bring in an extra crucie? I wanted to bring in an extra crucie. Hold on. I do like it. Unfortunately, it released around the same time. I'm actually, I don't know if I am or I'm not, but I'm still in the Discord as like a content creator. So we were official content creators for them. But they definitely went a different route and kind of disbanded. It's a small developing team. And so he ended up releasing the items. It's a French company. They ended up releasing it as like out of early access, and now people are able to mod it if they want. So it's not like you have to know people to play it. You're not going to go in there and find lobbies, but their Discord has some people that still continue to play. Lots of prestiges. All right, it's not going to Pulte Bomb now, is it? But I enjoyed it. It was my baby. It was my beginning. Fuck. I'm salty. I'm going home. I'm done. I'm out. I'm ending stream. Goodbye. Why did that scare me so bad? Listen, don't you have dad things to do? Hi, Jake. How are you, Jake? My favorite human. Salty. Ha! Something went wrong. No clip for you. I don't think it's in here anymore. Or it wore itself out completely. Come on, give me like a big Pulte Bomb. It threw my camera again. Stop throwing the camera, please. Come on, Pulte Bomb. Give me Pulte Bomb. Or give me death. Well, I guess that's one way to record the ghost, right? All right, there it is. Is the ghost Charlie? The ghost is not Charlie. Thank you for the hydrate. I am mentally preparing for activity around lots of people. We got a $25 dono today. Super excited. Yes, there it was. That was the minuscule. That was like so tiny, but that was the Pulte Bomb. Also, I think my camera's broke. I don't think we're getting that back. Is that my camera or is that my flashlight? I think that's my flashlight. Alright, so it is a poltergeist. And that was a mini Pulte Bomb. You're meant to prepare to take the kids to Home Depot? Ooh. Well, good luck with that. That will be fun, I am sure. Now listen, I can't be wrong 2 times in a row, right? I mean, I can, but I hope I'm not. Yes, let's go. That is how we do it. We're flying through these right now. So we're at 27 out of 50. I think it's actually 28. No, 27 because we got that one wrong. Ooh, from Home Depot. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. I'm very curious. I'm gonna let you all vote. What do you want to... Oh my gosh, hold on. I completely forgot here. So I'm gonna do 2 things at once here. I'm going to let you vote on what you want, and then we're gonna take a look at the bingo board. because we got a $25 dono. All right, 1 for Tanglewood, 2 for Grafton, 3 for Bleasdale. Go ahead and enter in chat a 1, 2, or 3. Which one do you want? And whilst we are doing that, I'm going to pull up this. And we have a $25 dono, and that was our last $25 dono square. So to get bingo, when you get bingo, it is a game key giveaway. We need a $1 dono, a $5 dono, a $2 will get us there, $20 or a $5 dono, or a 25. Then we can split up a 20 and a 5. So we got a couple on there. So yeah, making a height chart and some stepping stones with their hand and feet prints. Oh, that'll be so cute. So wait, what's the height chart going to look like? Is it not, it's not like on the house, right? I've seen some people taking the tape measures and then they paint a different color each year. So that way it's kind of like a mobile one. If you ever move, you don't lose it. That's so cute. All right, if anybody is interested in voting, 1 for Tanglewood, 2 for Grafton, 3 for Bleasdale. Right now, it looks like we're going to be traveling to Tanglewood. Probably a pretty standard piece of wood and making marks. Fair enough. And so, is it going to be... So the stepping stone's at the bottom of it, and then it's going to be that? I think if I ever do have kiddos, I think I would do the tape measure. Because then you can either, like, you can mobile... Oh, 2 different things. I was thinking, like, at the bottom it would be, like, their feet print at the stepping stones, and then it would be the wood, and then it would show each year. I'm like, I'm like, you should get a piece of wood, draw their outline, and cut out their silhouette. That'd be cute. But now I'm like, wait a second, I'm going too much. All right, so it looks like we're 50-50. What are y'all doing to me? What are y'all doing to me? I'm gonna do this one again. Y'all love making me use this, don't you? And it is the tingly weird. We're going back to the tingly weird. Let's take a look at our leaderboard there. And where we're at on our lifetime, $2,000.95. Although I don't think that updated. Hold on. Because we just got that dono in. So let me go to the wrong scene that has nothing on it. My bad. Shh, you saw nothing. You saw nothing. You just want to see the farmhouse? Okay, I will go to the farmhouse for you. We did go to the farmhouse earlier, but I think you might have stepped away for a moment. So here, for you, we will go to Grafton Farmhouse. You're getting the kiddo down for a nap? Me too. I need to go down for a nap. All right, this might be our last map because we do have to raid out a little bit early today because of getting ready and the stuff and the things. So, so here's the farmhouse, Ashen. Put the camera on. Let's do this, this, and this. Perfect. Going this way. Clickety click. Ooh, good. Not a blood moon. Perfect. You're welcome. Absolutely, no worries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat Adams. Let's go. Thank you so much for the dono. So that brings us over to, let me pull up the screen again. That's going to be a game giveaway. So this is Steam. We'll do it here in just a second. That is going to be a Steam giveaway because I'm assuming you want this one and this one. Oh, then we have a double game giveaway if we get another $1 in there. Pat Adams, thank you so much for that. So let me go ahead and pull up our game giveaway wheel. Is this the one? Here, make sure that we don't have any games we can't give away on there. Because I just gave away that one, and we have to take off Batman. Okay, let me double check that I have the... Say daddy's home for me. Oz, thank you for the 100 biddies. Is that so we get a $1 dono on there? Thank you so much for the 100 biddies. Let me make sure. Okay, we'll do the wheel, and then I'll make sure that it is... Well, I guess I could do it there, but I also have it here. So, active. And the game giveaway that we are going to do is going to be for Lego Batman. Let me double check that I still have that. It is. So this is Lego Batman. It is a Steam key, so you have to have Steam. And then I'm going to go ahead and push through a $1 dono on Tiltify for the 100 biddies that Os just did for us here. So give me just a second, because if I don't do it now, I will forget. And then Ashton will get back into... I don't know why it's not letting me donate. You know what? I'll donate that later. I'll donate that later, because it's just like give me the spinning wheel of death. So we're gonna go ahead and do that later. All right, so now we got a second one. Oop. Wow, our bingo board's getting pretty full. All right, we got 2 games. So the first one is going to be for Lego Batman. Let's see what our second one is going to be for. Our second one is going to be for Amnesia, a Machine. Amnesia. I don't think it's under this account, but I think I have it. So let me double check that I do have it. I just want to make sure. Nightwolf. Nightwolf. I was busy. I don't know if you guys know how my Tangia overlay works, but it's on my screen. So what you see, like how much it covers up your screen, it covers up my screen, and that just scared me. Hi, welcome in. Let me double check here. I'm pretty sure I have the Amnesia one, but I don't think it's under my account. So if not, I'll figure it out. I'll find it, don't worry. If not, I'll get them. All right, so we have 2 giveaways going on right now. Welcome just in time, Nightwolf. We have the first one that is going to be for Lego Batman Steam Keys. So if you would like to enter into that, be prepared, because we are about to do it. Pixel give. Let me pull up Pixel. Giveaway, giveaway. I'll do 90 seconds, so 1.5 minutes. Do you think that's good? I'll try to bring down the volume. Y'all said it was really loud last time, so... Okay, I need to think of a command that isn't Saint Jude PL? I don't know. Let's just do this. Let's do... game. No, because that's one too. Let's do RAR. There cannot... there's definitely no way that I have RAR in here. Definitely no way. Alright, giveaway starting. You have 90 seconds. Type exclamation mark RAR in chat to join. This is for a Batman, Lego Batman giveaway. There is definitely no way that I have a RAR command. Because last time was thank you and it kept going off as thank you. Thank you. 60 seconds. We got 2 in. We got Jade. We got Pat Adams. If you're interested in the Lego Batman, please, please, please. Yeah, it's Batman Lego Steam Key. Exclamation mark RAR to log or to enter the giveaway. Got 3 viewers in. Nine seconds. Oh, I missed something on YouTube side. Oh, it looks like Nightwolf. Nightwolf, you are coming in with the... Let's go! Congratulations! Can we get some hype in chat? Exclamation mark hype in chat for Nightwolf. Congratulations on winning that. Alright, let me find out. Dude, let me get out of my way. Yeah. Alright, let me send that over to you. That was Lego Batman. I'm gonna send it to you right now on Twitch in your whispers. Are your whispers open? Our next one up is Amnesia, and I think it's under a different account that I might not be able to get right now. All right, go ahead and take a look in your Twitch whispers. The code is there. Now, the next giveaway is for Amnesia. A Machine of Pigs. I don't... It's under an account. I just can't get to it. I think it's Mike's account that it's under. And if not, I'll get it to you as soon as I can. Alright, Pixel Give. Exclamation mark RAR is what it's going to be again. Exclamation mark RAR. This one's for Amnesia, a Man of Pigs, something like that. A machine for pigs. That one was actually kind of dark. So, Amnesia. Machine for Pigs. It is a survival horror game. They have a couple of them. They also have The Dark Descent, which I think is their sequel to it. It's got a very dark storyline, but it was actually pretty good. Weird. It made you definitely go like, what is happening here? Yeah, they really do. We got 2 in. Exclamation mark RAR, R-A-W-R, to get in for this giveaway. Oh, I didn't realize that they also did Dear Esther. A first-person horror game that will drag you to the depths of greed, power, and madness. It was really good, though. I think so. Best of luck. Like I said, I believe I have to get the code. I can't get the code as fast because I think it's under Mike's account. Oh, this one goes to Jade. Let's go. Can we get some hype in chat for Jade? Congratulations, Jade. Gosh darn it. It's wanting like 2 ways in here. Like, I understand K2AHC. Or not type, that's fine. I understand how good it is to have 2, you know, like the 2-way factor stuff, but holy bananas. No, not selecting you, Jade. Sorry, I'll give it to Jade. I hope you're okay with that. They are here, so that one is going to go to Jade. Jade is a VIP of the channel, so that means that she doesn't always have to be present in chat to claim it. I forgot to stop that there. Thank you. Oh, and apparently we have an ad going off. Cool beans. So... Alright, so Jade, I will get that. No, you're fine, you're fine. I owe you Amnesia the Bunker, so I just don't think it's under my account, so it's under Mike's account. I'm gonna have to get it for you later. The code, but I know you know me, so I think you'll be okay with that. I am going to type over here, though. I need to write that down. So I gotta get Ace beat down his digital card for 20, or their digital card for 25, and Jade Amnesia. Amnesia pig game. There you go. That's a perfect note. All right. Let's see. Is our wonderful... We're in the ad right now, but is Ashen Face still here? Ashen Face, if you're still here. Ashen Face is like, I just want to see the farmhouse. But congratulations on winning that giveaway, Jade. And thank you all for the dollar donos to end our 2 rows in our bingo. Hi, Disciple of Darkness. How have you been? How's life been treating you? Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm just kind of waiting a second so that the ads can run out. I'm also going to put on that giveaway wheel. I'm going to put a couple more games that I have been put in there. You've been all right? I'm glad you've been all right. Glad you were able to pop in. I appreciate that. I'm just waiting for the ads to break so that I can see if our friend that has been waiting for this map is here. Because I don't think they have a subby. We don't have a ghosty sub. Is that Ugh. There we go. Alright, Ghosties, you should be back from the ads. If you are, thank you so much for hanging out and waiting during the ad break. Ashen, you should be back as well. I waited outside so I would not go in and ruin the experience. But the very first thing that I want you to see, and I cannot take credit for what I'm about to say, I would have to credit the wonderful, outstanding kinetic game partner, the Rotator Chip, for what we are about to see. But if you come over here, you hear chickens. I guess you can say these are the poultry guys. Because they're definitely not in there. MDD, and he got put on a new med. It's helped with my depression and anxiety. I hope it works out. I'm so, like, I'm sorry to hear about that. I've have experience in my family with MDD, and I know it's hard, and just the first step of being able to recognize that you need that help, because sometimes it's hard to overcome. I'm glad that you were able to take that step. I'm glad the doctor is putting you in the right direction. I really do hope the meds help you out. Remember a few things. I'm sure they said that to you. Just remember, you know, it's still going to be a roller coaster ride, and finding out the perfect balance is going to be a little bit. So don't give up. It does take time, and I really hope that it does help you out. This is why I wanted the farm for the poultrygeist. You knew I had that in my pocket, didn't you? You've been on the hunt for SSRI for GAD due to PTSD that doesn't cause me major body tremors. Oh my goodness, 3 months. It does take so much, and there's like the level of, you either have to put it to, you know, higher, lower, take 2, like it's definitely, it definitely takes some time to find the right balance, and unfortunately some time is like upwards of 6 months to a year. But I'm glad that both of you are working towards finding something to help you out. Nightwolf claimed it for you. Are you already showing your face? Could you not? Alright, well, we found the ghost. That's fun. I probably did the worst thing in the world. I was on anxiety medicine for a while, and I ended up taking myself off of it. I don't know. Probably the worst thing in the world, but I feel like I'm surviving. I think I'm surviving. I don't know. My doctor says she thinks I'm doing okay, so... It's not because I don't think, like, they can't help me. I don't know. I don't know why I did. Well, no, I do know one point that led me. I took it because I usually take it before bed, and I took it and I had the worst pain. I laid down right after, which apparently you're not supposed to, and I thought I was dying. My insides were on fire. Like, I thought I was dying. It was so bad. Delay? There's a delay? I wonder what caused the delay. If you're on mobile, I always have issues with mobile. Or maybe I'm the issue. 2 weeks now. The only thing I don't like is a couple of the side effects, which are nausea and feeling tired, but not being able to sleep. Ooh, yeah. Twitch app is terrible, Ashen. 100%. Yeah, that's so hard. It's like you're so tired and you need sleep, but then it has you running, like your body's just wired and going. Definitely is a challenge. Oh no, like the lack thereof. Have you, like, are you dealing with insomnia through all the things as well? That is one thing I think I will never experience is insomnia. Oh, we have dots. I can fall asleep. I don't have narcolepsy either, but I can fall asleep anywhere. I can get 12 hours of sleep and still try to go back to sleep. Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? How old are you? Are you young? Are you old? Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? Let's double check our voice, make sure that it is working. Where are you? Nope, so we're gonna have to go to the text because it is not working for this one. All right, so let's try spirit box. All right, we have spirit box, noted. We never turned the power on, so let's go up here, see if the power is on. I have no idea what's in my right hand. Oh, it's the cruise. Oh, that's a bone. We don't have the power there. Falling asleep hasn't been the problem. Issues. Tremors start while sleeping. Waking up. Oh no. Okay, are you a stalker ghost? A lot of teleporting to my existence here. Did you close all the... No, you didn't close all the doors. Yes, so many features. I do have to say I think they put through like a mini little patch. I don't know. It seems to be a tiny bit better. But one of my favorite features is apparently I like to carry things with my teeth. There will be a point where I'm picking up things and my hands are at my side, but I'm still carrying it. So I don't know how to feel about the flashlight. I do have to say that it is better than what I thought the first day. Peggy and Knowles! Hi, hello, hey! Welcome in, ghosties! Hello! Welcome in, Peggy. Welcome in, Knowles. Thank you so much for that raid, that double raid. For anybody that does not know these wonderful, wonderful content creators, they love some grounded gameplay. I got to listen to them this morning. I got to listen to them this morning, just talk about a lot of... They're very knowledgeable about the developers of Grounded and Grounded 2 and all the things that were happening with them. So, welcome in, Morgan. Morgan, right? Hi. The ghosties are going very well. We are kind of low-key speedrunning it to get the Tanglewood and the farmhouse badges, but going pretty well. Going pretty well. Hi, Fantacorn. Welcome in. Knowles is my oldest, so I'm stuck with him. You're stuck with him, but you know you adore him. You adore him. Yeah, you guys are so knowledgeable. Like, just listening to your conversations was interesting. The only complaint I had was spiders. I was like, you said they're cute, and I'm just like, there's furs on their legs. Ah. But seriously, anybody that's new here, hi, hello, hey. My name is Lil Miss Kami, and I do all things psychological thriller, indie horror, and what? Hold on, I can't. What is happening? So, for anybody that doesn't know, I had a cyst on my head, and so I went bald in a spot, and my hair is growing back, and now it just will not cooperate. There we go. Anyways, hi, hello, hey, my name is Lil Miss Kami. I do all things psychological thriller, indie horror, paranormal investigative, and I'm a proud member of Everbright Global Gaming alongside Peggy and Fantacorn, who floated in, and I'm part of Haunted Inc. and the Crypt Stream teams as well. And we are probably going to be raiding out of here very soon, so I will keep you as chaotically cozy as I can whilst we finish up some Phasmophobia today. But thank you so much for the raid. Wait, since when did we have knowledge? Oh my goodness. You know, I was listening to you guys. You knew more than I even knew. You were like, this is what happened. They're about to shut this down. Like, it was amazing. There is an arachnophobia mode, but I've never checked. It makes it work. It makes it worse. It makes it worse. Because what it does is it takes their legs away, so then you just have these big, evil blobs of balls chasing you, and it's a situation. It's a situation. But also, please check out Peggy if you need a space that is a safe space for LGBTQIA plus friendly. She's always raising money, also educator as well. Money for the Trevor project. I believe they're like at $800 out of $1,000 goal. So if you got some love to support there, Peggy is a good place to go support that. And here, we're raising money for a St. Jude Play Live, so welcome in, ghosties. Knowles and Peggy, if you need a raid and run, raid and lurk, please go take care of yourself. Post-stream care is the best stream care. I appreciate you so much. I must have short-term memory loss because zero memory of us sharing knowledge. You were in like a whole conversation about... Somebody asked you something, and just sharing a whole bunch of information. I was lurking, I was just getting ready. The new max prestige is now prestige 4,000. You get nothing for it, so I'm staying at prestige 20. What? You get nothing for it? About Dozer. Oh, was that something? You were talking about something. You were talking about a lot of things, and I'm just like, wow, they really know the conversations that they're having. You follow Peggy when you mention it. It's a safe space. Absolutely. One of the best safe spaces. I'm so sorry. My distraction is level 3000 right now. I'm noticing things about my hair. I'm so sorry. But seriously, welcome in. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys, those spiders. I can't. I don't know how you do it. You're just like, they're so cute. I'm just like, those some nightmare material. They're really not that bad. Okay. I'm just dramatic. I am just dramatic, to be honest. A whole bunch of stuff is getting fixed with the Alan Wake. Yeah, they were like, we're not fixing anything. Oh, it's not a mare. They turned on the light. They are like, listen, we'll take down notes and we will fix it later. Tuesday is the Alan Wake update for Phasmophobia for anybody that likes Alan Wake. I don't really know too much about Alan Wake, but it's pretty exciting that they're going to get a crossover like that. Oh, we got some Fifis for the Oni fans. Let's go. All right, we got UV on the books, and it is a Phantom, so we're gonna rip it out of here. At least they aren't this... Oh, gross. It's over 9,000. Do not look them up if you have arachnophobia. They scare even me. Okay, now I have to look them up. I have to. I'm like, you know... You tell that kid not to touch something, I touch them. Stinger is from... What is it called? Satisfactory? Okay. Alright. Regrets were made. No way. Stop it. This is not... Is this? Ew. I love this one right here. Okay, hold on. Let's share with the class, shall we? Those are not cool. They seem terrible. Window focus. These things? Is that what we're looking at? I like the not the cat. Not the those things? Why is there a cat here? Both of my offspring are part of the community, so it's a family affair. Love it. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go watch video on them. They don't look too terrifying to me. I honestly think what scares me now, if I see them walk, I think that'll be the thing. It's the legs. I can tell you right now, what scares me of spiders is the legs and the sound that games put together with spiders. So, so the... Oh, wait! Yes, I would put on the arachnophobia mode just for that. They're the Devs cats. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. I love that. That is fantastic. And aw, that's so... I'm so glad that Peggy and Knowles were able to raid in so that you can find a community where you'll know you'll be safe. I do try to keep a very inclusive community here as well. But I know Peggy is a good advocate for the community. The big ones jump. Oh, no, they don't. They go away. Wait, we're getting out of here. Why am I going back in? Actually, do I have a smudge? Because I wanted to show Ash and the rest of the house here. So, Ashton, I'm going to take you on a little dark tour of it. So, here is our broken entryway. And our broken bathtub. And it has a ducky. This is, don't fight ducks. Ducky. Then they have this beautiful room over here. Your PC is currently down. You're waiting for your new cooling fans to get delivered. Oh no, the cooling fan stopped working. Yeah, I cannot function without that. We have the doll room. And if you get a ghost that spawns in this beautiful doll room, the dolls like to make noise and laugh, and sometimes they move. I think they move. I can't recall, but... And yes, absolutely. Open air wall plan. It's the best plan in the world. And also open skylights. Look at that skylight. Let me just show you. See, look at that skylight. That is such a unique skylight. You can only find this in Grafton. Ooh, that sounds like a good one. I know. Oh gosh, Knowles, have you played Phasmo before? I'm sure you've seen it. You've been here before. It's so bad. It's so bad. This is... I don't even know how to... And you also have something in the walls, apparently, because that was just terrifying. It's so bad. They're working out the kinks, of course. Well, it's about, you know, $1,200 to rent. You have to pay for electricity, of course. However, we do not fix anything, so maintenance is all on you. You'll take it. I mean, there's plenty of rooms. I mean, look at this view. Imagine sunset every night. You get a beautiful open floor concept with a beautiful sunset. Look at those stars. I mean, you can't beat this, right? Sometimes it comes with a cursed music box, which is right here. I don't suggest playing with it, but you know, you do you, boo. All the furniture comes included. And what the hell? That's a feature. Haunted doors, you know, that's fine. At one point you were able to climb up there and to, you know, see the views, but now you're not allowed. So this is our beautiful... I'll show you the next best room. Disciple, that's a scary whisper, but that's like you're licking my ears. I could have sworn the devs fixed how the characters hold a flashlight before this update. No, they actually changed... I don't know. They changed it now. I don't know who's holding a flashlight like this. I don't know. I guess I could see it, but it's more like your wrist needs... The wrist doesn't need to be so like this. It just needs... But it just needs to be out of the way. Like, it just needs to be straightened a little bit more. How did this get approved for release? That's what I'm wondering. It's like, this is supposed to be like an actual dev game now. Here is the mannequin room where we like to use the mannequins to make custom dresses. And the even more fun part about it is if the ghost is in this room, the mannequins will also move. I just had that happen earlier. It comes with a beautiful vintage key typewriter. Another background scenery here with a bookshelf and a bathroom and a hunt and a ghost hunt. I don't know. That is a good question. That is a good question because, like, let me tell you, some of this stuff just ain't working. My voice works every other game. Just gonna hide in the dark for a minute. It's fine. Like, I don't know if things got lost when they pushed out the update or what. What? Yeah, yes, all of it. Yeah, all of this. Oh, like, you have the dining room and it comes with nice dirty water from the tub upstairs. That's easy to be fixed though. You just have to push the tub backwards. And the kitchen. The kitchen also has a vintage skylight as well. And let me just tell you though, the one thing that I will say that is the worst, like the only con of the place, the heating bills. The heating bills are rough. If the lights are flicking without an event or a hunt, it's a Raiju. Yes, I knew that one. Because earlier the lights were flickering in Tanglewood. But that is a really good hint, a really good thing. As you walk past a broken wall exactly where Mark was gesturing, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. All right, let me see. I think I have to call it here. Ghosties, Nils and Peggy, thank you again so much for that raid. For the new ghosties coming in, thank you so much. Congratulations to our winners today. Thank you for... Where were we? We were at like 12... We got... like $30, I think? Where were we? 12:45? Yeah, we got like $32 today, I think. No, $30. $30 because I'm gonna go ahead and put through 3 there. But if y'all wouldn't mind coming to raid out with me, that would be beautiful and fantastic, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. On the YouTube side, I'm gonna say goodbye and log off right now. Thank you for hanging out over there. We actually had some decent views on YouTube, so it was great of all of you coming on the YouTube side. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and close out of that stream. That way I can put on the musics. So we're not sitting here awkwardly staring at each other. Let's go ahead and find somebody. I'm gonna go to St. Jude Play Live, their Discord, and see who is currently live. For somebody to love her. But if y'all wouldn't mind coming with a raid, I would appreciate that. Take 2 seconds, drop in, give the support, and then dip tater chip. Where's our daily schedule? All right, let's see. We're in the 3 o'clock hour. Let's go down to the 3:30. Let's see this person. Let's check them out. They're not on. Okay, how about I just go to the St. Jude Play Live tag? Let's just go to the tag and see who's on. That way they're actually on. Devil May Cry. Interesting. This person's playing Coral Island, and they have raised over 44,000. And he's dressed as something green, like a goblin. All right, let's go say hi. Shall we? Let's do it. All right, here we go. Here's our raid message. The very first one with the ghosties is for those that are subbed. The second one popping up with the Unity Hearts hands is... Dude, it is not letting me copy correctly, and that's not cool. There we go. I'm trying to get this copied. All right, here we go. The Visual Pine. They are currently raising money for St. Jude as well, and they're in a green suit, and I don't know what it is. So, we're gonna go say hi, because why not, right? I truly appreciate y'all being here today. Thank you so much. As the stream, oh my gosh, 27 of you were with me today. That's amazing. Thank you so much, ghosties. Before we end, remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Make sure that you take care of yourself. And also, thank you all for popping in. I appreciate you. All these new chatters, all the returning chatters, you guys are the reason that I keep going. You can hide in the lockers in the garage with the doors open and the ghost can't get you. What? With my luck, the ghost will get me. The ghost will get me. Go ahead and grab up those raid message, come along, and let's go support another content creator raising money alongside St. Jude as well. Thank you so much for the raid from Peggy and Knowles. I appreciate you all so much. I hope you all have a beautiful night and even better tomorrow. I will see you Tuesday with Ghost Exorcism Inc. If you'd like to see a different ghost hunting game, if you've not seen it before, I'll be live around between 7 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I really hope y'all can show up, and I'll see you then. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Bye, ghosties.